Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ETV Live, the leader in sim broadcasting. Tonight it's race number 4 for the TSW Pro Series at ASRC Sim Racing Club. Here at the Pocono Speedway, I'm your host, Sean, the businessman Bickle. Alongside me in the booth, Kevin, the Lone Ranger Franks. David Big Mouth Bass running a little bit late, and hopefully he can make it into the track a little bit later tonight. Down on pit road, special guest Jerry Wolf's going to be with us, giving us all the great pit reports. And John the Bad Boy Westling is around the track. He's one man in many places at the same time, but he's trackside with all the cameras at John the Bad Boy Westling. Kevin Franks, let me kick it over to you real quick, man. Welcome to Pocono Speedway here, and race number 4. We saw a good one at Bristol last week, and hopefully we'll see a great race here tonight.
Oh, yeah, we should definitely see a good race here tonight. You know, it's a good ride track. 3 distinct corners, which is going to challenge the drivers tonight. And, of course, that front straightaway, as right as it is, you're going to see them probably go 3 and 4 wide going down that front straightaway.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see these guys fan out down this long front straightaway. And like you said, 3 distinct corners. They call this place the Tricky Triangle. And boy, it sure can be tricky, but if you got a knack for this place, got a good setup, you can make it happen here and have a great run. But let me kick it down trackside real quick, down to pit road. Jerry Wolf, welcome to ETV here at TSW Pro Series, man.
Hey guys, thanks for allowing me to come over and broadcast with y'all tonight and do some pit reporting for you.
Yeah, now Jerry, you hearing anything down the garage area about who may be the cars to beat, and or drivers saying anything, and what's the fuel window here for tonight?
Well, it looks like they can make it about 50 laps on a tank of fuel, give or take a few. I don't know. We'll see if that pans out. I'm not sure the tires will last that long here, but they are saying that tunnel turn, of course, is loose as usual. Nothing new there, and looks like we got Jason Burstein fastest in happy hour right now.
Yeah, Jason Burstein, always fast wherever he goes, and incidentally qualified on the pole. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's his 3rd pole here in the series. He was on pole last week at Bristol, so 2 weeks in a row, he's definitely getting it done for his sponsor, RelayForLife.org. But let's quick run through our driver standings here for the TSW Pro Series. Ben Bando, he is your points leader. He's going to have 172 points and just having another great season, and he's your defending driver standings, or defending drivers champion. So picking up right where he left off, leading the way. Frank Samonto for DB Tech Services having an awesome season so far. He's up 1 spot, 6 points back. Chris Wilson, he's right there for Elite Sim Racing, 7 points back. Hal Beardsworth, he's 9 points back in 4th. James Greegate, last week's winner at Bristol, he's 13 back from your leader. Jason Burstein, tonight's pole sitter, he's going to be 15 back. J.J. Schlafer in DB Tech Services, he's 18 points back in 7th. Danny Gabalden, he's going to be 20 back in 8th. Ernie D. Alfonso for ARCA League Manager, he is going to be 9th, 27 back. And Steve Rosner, he is going to be rounding out the top 10, 33 points back. And, man, I tell you what, that's pretty doggone close, Kevin Franks, point standing. It's still wide open here, trying to get yourself in position for the downhill run to the championship.
No, for sure. And, it's still early in the season, so, it's like the drivers, working their positions out, trying to get in the best position they can to try to win that championship and get that TSW wheel.
Yeah, once again, sponsor Thomas Enterprises, Thomas Super Wheel, going to be putting up a wheel, one of their wheels for winning the championship. So just an absolute great prize on the line for these guys. So, don't want to get penalties, need to finish races and win races, and, then you may be able to wrap your hands around a TSW if you're the champion. But there's also the sponsors here tonight. That's what keeps this series alive, so to speak, as all the sponsors that come in and want to get their names out here on these cars, sponsor some drivers. And that we love having the sponsors and thank the sponsors for coming on board. And we have a change in position for the sponsors championship. Arca Sim Racing Club, Ben Bando, able to move up into the top spot and take that lead away from True Gravity. Elite Sim Racing and Chris Wilson, car number 84, is going to be second. Hal Beersworth's True Gravity Art Designs is going to be in third. Fourth is going to be the DB Tech Services car, J.J. Schlafer. And then in the top five, that's Frank Simonto. Then into the top five is going to be Halls on Post and James Greegate moving up into the fifth spot. So that's your top five for the sponsor standings. And once again, we thank our sponsors for coming on board. Still wide open in the sponsors champions, wide open in the driver standings. And man, I tell you what, this race could really shake things up here in all the standings. So Kevin, we'll have to keep an eye on all these drivers, see how they get down into turn one here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. At the start of the race and another turn, it's that tunnel turn. That can be real tricky, especially if they go side by side. A lot of times the car on the outside gets tight coming off that corner, and a lot of times that car on the outside will catch that wall coming off and usually cause problems.
All right, well, that's your standings, and we're getting ready to wrap up the pre-race show here. Why don't we step away real quick, take a quick commercial break, let us regroup, and then we'll come back with the national anthem and go green flag racing here at Pocono, ETV Live.
Hey, this is JD again, and I'll tell you what, TSW offers the finest in precision racing gear for the competitive sim racer who depends on quality and long-lasting equipment. You talk about reinventing the wheel, check out the TSW Evolution series. The latest innovations in digital electronics are built into TSW's Evolution steering wheels and pedals. It has reliable spring tensioners, digital circuitry with potentiometers or optical encoders, and unmatched accuracy give the avid sim racer a competitive advantage. This is the real deal, cowboy. You ain't done yet, Haas. Strap yourself into one of these TSW fully customizable Z-frame cockpits. Made of tubular steel chassis, it features an adjustable high-quality racing seat, built-in mounting for your computer equipment, wheels, and pedals. All it's missing is the smell of rubber and the cheering of the crowd. Cockpits start at $385 more with available options. You need a custom-built system according to your specifications, Dave Thomas. He's your man. He'll be glad to help you out and choose the best solutions for your needs. Gentlemen, start your engines with TSW Racing Equipment, thomas-superwheel.com. You simply can't beat the quality. While you're there, check out their full line of accessories, shifters, and replacement upgrade. It's quality gear, guys. There is no better. And if you're not satisfied, TSW offers a 30-day money-back guarantee on wheels and pedals. thomas-superwheel.com. Make it your go-to place for your professional sim racing equipment, and do it today.
And watching some of these guys turn some laps here around the tricky triangle, and man, I tell you what, Tim St. Jean leading the happy hour right now, and that's one driver, Kevin Franks. Tim St. Jean has really been running well. Sunday night at Texas, no tires and almost held off Ben Bando, and finished second there at Texas. So Tim St. Jean having a great season so far, Kevin.
Yeah, he is. 'Cause I don't think he's gotten too, caught up in any accidents. His car's been pretty well cleaned, and has a lot of good finishes. So if he keeps it up, he might be up towards the top of the battle for the points championship.
All right, well, we got 1 minute left before we strap these guys in on pit road and shoot them off down into turn number one. Why don't we kick it trackside to our good old buddy J.D. Webb and the ETV Live Band for our national anthem. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, J.D. Webb and the ETV Live Band for our national anthem. Servers counting down. These guys are getting ready to pull out onto the track for the pace lap here. We got 80 laps here tonight. We're going to run through your starting lineup here for the TSW Pro Series. Jason Burstein, 3 poles on the season. He's for relayforlife.org. He's in that number 64 car. He'll be rolling off on the pole. J.J. Schlafer, great qualifying run. He's going to roll off second in that DB Tech Services Ford Fusion. Chris Wilson, he's going to roll off third for Elite Sim Racing. Danny Gabaldon's going to roll off fourth for ETV Live in that number 62 Toyota. Ben Bando, your driver standings leader right now, he's going to roll off fifth for Arca Sim Racing Club. Frank Samanto, the other DB Tech Services car, he's up there in the points. He's going to roll off sixth. James Greegate, last week's winner at Bristol for Halls on Post, he's going to roll off seventh. Tony Bowling in that number 21 Pilot Chevrolet is going to start eighth. Jason Riddle, he's in the number 96 Elite Sim Racing Pontiac. He's going to start ninth. And rounding out your top 10, Kevin Franks is going to be the number 24 Arca League Manager Chevrolet from Bernie D'Alfonso.
And the 11th spot, you got Tim St. Jean. In 12th, you got Sean Brown. And 13th is Ben Sides. And 14th is Dee Goldsboro. 15th, you got Steve Speece. 16th is Jason Calhoun. 17th is Steve Sawyer. 18th is Jerry Cokes. 19th is Jim Reelis. And 20th is Jerry Hinkle.
Yeah, guys, starting in 21st, you have the 23 car of Weiss. The 22nd spot is going to be the 34 of Joe DiPino. The 23rd spot is the 37 car of Jay Bunn. The 24th spot is the 55 car of Dwayne Hall. The 25th spot is the 54 car of Wilson. The 26th spot is the 3 car of Hal Beardsworth. And starting 27th at the back of the grid will be the 29 of Corey.
All right, thank you, Kevin Franks, Jerry Wolf. These guys are coming around turn number 3 or 4 or whatever. Jason Burstein looking for the green flag. Slow,
green flag, go,
70
go, go,
miles
go.
an hour. Green flag is out. We are racing here at Pocono Speedway live on ETV, the TSW Pro Series, side by side for the lead, getting down into turn 1. Chris Wilson's going to make it 3 wide right away, getting down into turn 1. It might get tight. These guys give plenty of room. That's 3 pro drivers right there going 3 wide right here from the get-go. Chris Wilson gets the lead out of turn number 1. He's going to try to lead that inside line, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, as they head down in the to the tunnel turn, they're still side by side. It's Bernstein inside Schaeffler, and behind him you got Ben Bando looking on the inside. Oh, somebody just got loose up into the wall back there. See if we can tell who that is.
Yeah, that's Danny Gabaldon in the 62 car. Got loose, made a little contact with the wall, but nonetheless, everybody going in the right directions. Danny's going to lose a few spots, fall back to 8th, but out of turn number 3, Chris Wilson seems to have the strong horse right now as he leads lap number 1 here, gets a point towards the championship standings, and he's right up there. Jason Burstein in a close draft. They head down into turn number 1, putting a little bit of distance on the field, but so far so good. And I believe David Bass, you are back with us. You're here at the track, made the green flag, so welcome, buddy.
Hey, thanks, guys. Yeah, I tell you, it was kind of close there. A little bit of traffic problems here tonight. Took me a little bit to get here, but I made it, and grateful to make the green flag. These guys did a great job getting through the first lap here. Let's see if they can keep this going here, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim St. Jean just made a move on Tony Bowling, and he's going to move up into the 9th spot there. But so far, so good. Great racing here, man. I tell you what, a couple guys we need to keep our eye on. Hal Beardsworth started 26th spot. He's already picked up 4. He's in the 22nd right now. So watch out for him because he was your points leader last week in Bristol and then had a little bit of trouble and dropped a little bit. So Hal needs a good run for True Gravity Art Designs. And right now he's following Dwayne Hall, and they're going to be trying to work their way to the front. A couple other notables, Jay Bunn in the number 37. He's in here. He's got that pink and yellow car. I tell you, that car was fast at Texas this past weekend when Arca Sim Racing Club was running there. So we'll see if old Jay Bunn can get up there. But back up front into the tunnel turn, Kevin Franks, Chris Wilson, Jason Burstein lined up nose to tail, and they got about half a second on J.J. Schlafer. But looks like here comes Ben Bando for third, Kevin.
Yeah, they Chris and Bernstein are lining, just drafting off to each other, and that's going down that front straightaway. They get enough speed, the drive does help, and they can be able to pull away, especially the cars behind them starts racing side by side.
Well, David Bass, how important is the draft here at Pocono Speedway?
With the exception of Talladega and Daytona, this is the track where the draft is the most important. You've absolutely got to be with another car if you want to be able to keep up with anybody else. And these straightaways are so long. Front stretch there is the longest longest straightaway in NASCAR. So these guys have definitely got to play with the draft here, and it makes it tough sometimes knowing just how hard to race and how long you just got to sit there in the draft and run.
Yeah, absolutely, and we got a battle shaping up right now for the fourth spot.
Yellow flag,
James
back it
Greegate
down.
looking inside of Schlafer, but that's all for nothing. Caution out on the speedway right now. Jack Wilson in that 54 MVG car looks like he's gone around out of turn number 2, came through the tunnel turn there, and may have just got loose and lost it, but I don't think he. Oh, a little bit of contact looked like, but John Weston, you got a replay for us?
Yeah, I'm queuing it up now, Sean. It looks like he's just going to come around that corner and just get loose. Barely makes contact from one of those TSW machines. I believe that was Weiss back there. But that 54 car, MVG web hosting car, just gets loose coming out of the turn there. And just, like I said, slight contact with that TSW car. I don't think it's going to do him much damage. But neither one of them cars are going to take a whole lot of damage here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, looked like Brian Corey in that 29 Thomas Enterprises Chevrolet may have made slight contact, like you said, John. And I tell you, Brian Corey got a new paint job, man. It's a good-looking ride. It looks just like his team car, Mark Weiss, right in front of him. So great paint schemes out there. But right before that, was all that action was happening, Jason Burstein made a move on Chris Wilson, so Burstein back up into the top spot as they went under the caution flag here. But I imagine Kevin Franks that a lot of these guys are going to be hitting pit road.
All cars.
Yeah, they're probably great and get a full tank of gas and get 4 tires, and if any of them needs to make any adjustments, probably make some adjustments, especially the guys in the back. I said they probably make some adjustments to their cars and see if they can get some more speed out of the cars.
And Jerry Wolf, looks like James Greegate stays out, but looks like the rest of the field headed down to you, buddy.
Yeah, I got the rest of the field coming down to me here. Greegate stayed out. I just not quite sure that with 4 laps on these tires that it was time to pit yet, but hey, they could be in for a big long green flag run, and that I think you're going to have to pit at this point.
Yeah, Burstein overshoots his pit box down there, so, man, I tell you what, he may lose the lead off the pit road here. But it looks like the crew's running around now, going to get left sides, and Tony Bowling looks like he's going to win the race off pit road, Jerry.
Oh, man, he lost a lot of spots on it. I believe he lost 3 or 4 spots on that. I mean, you overshot the pit, and they're not going to let you pit outside of the box, so you're going to have to back it up.
Yeah, little mental mistake there, uncharacteristic of David Bass. But nonetheless, got a fast car, man, and he didn't lose a whole lot of spots, so I imagine we'll see that 64 car back up in the front at some point during this race. But, man, I tell you what, David Bass, that's kind of been Burstein's thing so far this season here in the TSW Pro Series. Pit stops, really kind of, race number 1 especially, just, I mean, absolutely killed his momentum. He just could not get a good pit stop in race number 1. And then it's just kind of found, some trouble in the races, was leading at Iowa, got taken out. Man, I tell you what, when's this guy going to get into victory lane here in the Pro Series?
Well, first of all there, Sean, I'm going to give you a little bit of a hard time there since you called him David Bass and it was actually Jason Burstein you were talking about.
Oh, my God.
Considering that the last broadcast we did, you kept trying to call me Jason, so I think turnabout's a little bit of fair play there. But Jason's a very talented driver, and I really see that he'll be in victory lane before very long. He's definitely one of the faster guys out here. And a lot of what happens sometimes is not necessarily a product of his fault or anything of that nature. He's used to running a different sim with a little bit different pit physics, and it may just take him a little bit of time to get used to it. I don't think that that's going to be a continuing issue with him. I think he'll get that figured out, and when he does, I'd say look out, because he'll probably win 3 or 4 of these in a row.
Well, David, I tell you, I was keeping you on your toes. I was just making sure you're paying attention up here in the ETV Live booth, so I decided to switch it up. I don't know what it is, David, when you and Burstein in the same server together, how I get you guys mixed up. I don't know.
It happens, and like I said, everything's even now. I think we're in good shape. Let's just go on from here. But these guys are definitely looking like hopefully we can get another good run here. Maybe get a good 15-20 lap run before the next caution, or even maybe go from here. But these guys definitely look like they had a good start, and gonna be good to go here on this next restart.
Yeah, a couple drivers on the move right now. Hal Beardsworth, since the green flag came out, picked up 10 spots so far. So he's in the 16th. But Kevin Frank, James Greegate stayed out. Tony Bowling, I think, took 2 tires, and everybody else is on 4. And so they went 3 wide right from the get-go, Kevin. Man, what do you think we're going to see now? A couple different tire strategies out here.
Chris Wilson showing that he can go 3 wide, and his drivers show that they can do it going in that turn 1, which is, it's a little tricky itself. You don't really see him too much in NASCAR. So I'd say with Chris, for those 4 tires, fresh tires, he may try to do that again on this restart.
All right, pace car is in. James Greegate leading them down 70 miles an hour down this long front straightaway, looking for the green flag. There we go. It's out. James Greegate takes the green flag. We're racing again, and yeah, Chris Wilson wasting no time. He's going to pull out and make a move on second place Tony Bowling. J.J. Schlafer's going to try to follow him through turns 1 and 2, David Bass.
Yeah, these guys are spanning out, just kind of like what we expect to see them. We got Jason Burstein around.
Burstein around in turn 1 and then gets hit by Pino, and I think we gave him the jinx, David Bass, because we were just talking about him, and man, here he goes into turn number 1, and he may have had some help from the 96 of Riddle. No, guys, he just got loose down to turn number 1, but did a heck of a job trying to save it. But John Wesley got a replay on that.
Now, these guys are just all bunched up trying to get every position they can. You're right. First thing just loses it on his own. And I'm wondering if he tried to do the old nasty shift right there. It looks like he just missed the wrong shift here. I'm in his cockpit, and I'm exactly right. He downshifted, and he should have been upshifted right there.
Okay, wow, tough break. Jason Burstein, we were just talking about him. When's he going to get into victory lane? And the bad luck struck again for him. But, I don't really think he's that damaged, Kevin. I mean, he got drilled by DePino, but, that crew might be able to beat that spoiler back down. We'll have to see if he can get back up there.
Yeah, I was looking at the replay. He kind of got sides right by DePino, so looked like the damage is going to be up around on the right side of the car. So, I don't think they really got too much damage on the spoiler. We just look and see when they get into the pits.
All right, Jerry Wolf, are you hearing anything down on pit road from that 64 crew?
I think he's got a right rear tire down. He's trying to lip it back to pit road. He's pretty tore up in the back, and it looks like DePino. I don't know how he could even continued after that.
All right, so Joe DePino on the hauler. He's going to take that bull riding car, and they'll get ready for next week's race in Richmond. That's right, Richmond, Virginia. That's where the series will be next week. August 25th on Wednesday night, right here live on ETV from Richmond. So tune in next week, catch that one. That'll be race number 5 in the series. But
Pits are open for the lead
man,
cars.
I tell you what,
lead
this
cars
is what
on.
James Gregate wants to see, isn't it, David Bass?
Oh, absolutely. But this also gives Chris Wilson the opportunity to get right on his bumper on this restart and see what he can do. You know, sitting there, I was watching that last incident, and you feel bad for Joe DiPino because he was the kind of the innocent bystander in this, and he's the one that ended up with the torn up race car. Bernstein looks like once he gets in, gets some fresh tires, gets a little bit of damage done, he's probably going to be in okay shape. But DiPino obviously didn't have the same luck here tonight. These guys, probably a few of them are going to come back down pit road, but I don't think very many of them as they're coming to you there, Jerry.
Yeah, there's a very few of them here on pit road. Most of them stayed out. I didn't think you'd see many of them come down. I would imagine we've got one down getting a lot of damage repaired, though.
Yeah, it looks like both Thomas Enterprises Chevrolets are on pit road. These guys probably just topping off. But, man, those are some good-looking race cars out there. But 9 of 80 laps complete. We're under caution here. James Gregate, your leader. Why don't we step away, take a quick commercial break, pay some bills, and we'll come back and get the green flag right here live on ETV. Stick and stay. Don't go away.
Okay, pits are open for all cars. We can pit now.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in here live on ETV. This is the Thomas Super Wheel Pro Series at ARCA Sim Racing Club, race number 4 at Pocono. These guys pacing around under caution right now for Jason Burstein having trouble in turn 1 on that last restart. And I imagine we'll get the 1 to go. No, we don't.
Okay, we're going
yeah,
back
we
to
do.
green next time by.
All right, got the 1 to go here. So lights out on the pace car. James Gregate, your leader. Chris Wilson, 2nd. J.J. Schlafer, 3rd. Tony Bowling, 4th. And Jason Riddle, your starting 5 right here. And let's send it down to pit road for a report from Jerry Wolf.
Yeah, guys, I stopped over there and talked to that pit crew on that 64 car, and they're saying he's really bad. Car is trash, and it looks like he's back on pit road again. So I'm just not sure they're going to be able to do a whole lot of fixing on that thing.
Well, David Bass, do you think that Burstein, and I think I got it right that time, do you think Burstein is going to be a little upset with ETV for giving him the jinx?
Possibility, but Burstein's an old ETV broadcaster, an old buddy of ours, so I think he'll give us a little bit of slack on that there, Sean. But he definitely might say something about it to us here post race.
Now, looks like some guys checking up in the back there, right around Jerry Kokas and Dwayne Hall, Ben Bando, and guys, Ben Bando is in 12th right now. Just looking down through here and see that 51 car, so not sure what happened to him on pit road, but he lost a ton of spots evidently at some point. So, man, your current points leader and defending championship winner is mired back in traffic right now, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, he is, because he's got a fast car. He was up there towards the top 4 there before the first caution come out, and he's shown time again that he's patient and he'll take his time. He won't force any issues to work his way back up towards the front there, Sean.
All right, pace car is in. We're getting ready to go green flag racing once again. 10 laps complete. James Gregate gets the green flag. Here we go once again. And will Chris Wilson try to make a move? I don't think he will this time, as James Gregate's got some good restart gears in that Halls-on Post Chevrolet, but Wilson closes right into the bumper of him. And here comes Tony Bowling looking underneath Schlafer for 3rd, Dave Bass.
Yeah, and JJ did a good job there, kind of shutting the door without, blocking or anything there, but definitely broke the momentum of Tony Bowling, so it kind of helped him stay in that third position. But these guys pretty much hold the position through the first couple of corners, which is not a bad idea. Let these tires get up to temperature and let them get up to pressure, and then go race them.
Absolutely. Jason Riddle running in 5th right now, was looking underneath the Tony Bowling, was going to have to regroup. So looks like you got a pass up here for the lead. Looks like Chris Wilson is taking the lead. They got Greegate hung out to dry coming out of turn number 4, and Schlafer was able to get through, so move him into 2nd. Greegate struggling on those tires. Tony Bowling, remember, he has 2 tires. He's stuck behind Greegate right now, and here comes Greegate trying to shoot it in for a 2nd underneath Schlafer. And here comes Riddle underneath the Bowling. Dave Bass.
Yeah, these guys are definitely kind of getting in a situation where this is where that draft comes into play that we were talking about there, Sean. You get one guy that'll make the move and he'll make it stick, so somebody will try to follow him, and all of a sudden the guy that thinks he's going to be making a pass is going to be going to the back because he got stuck on the outside line right there.
Yeah, here comes Frank Samanto. Now he's looking underneath the Tony Bowling as they head down into turn number 3. So Frank slowly and quietly so far tonight moving his way up. Danny Gabaldon running 7th. And man, we got some racing going on. Tim St. Jean, Damon Goldsboro, and that number 5 car just made a little bit of contact with the wall. Now here comes Dwayne Hall in that 55. He's going to try to go underneath the Goldsboro into turn number 1. That's a battle for 13th, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, and Hall's still underneath him trying to make that pass, and Hal Birdsworth is back behind him looking possibly try to follow him through there and see clears Goldsboro.
Yeah, battle for the 9th spot right now as well. Jerry Kokas, he's been underneath Ernie D'Alfonso for a whole lap now. But
spin in the back.
Top.
Hall is around.
Oh, Dwayne Hall around and into the wall through the tunnel turn. Nobody else is going to make any contact. Whoa! Brian Corey makes a good move.
Mark Weiss just spun out there. Sean trying to avoid him. Did a great job keeping that car off of the wall and out of anybody's out anybody's car there. Gonna have to get some new Hoosiers, but that was close.
Yeah, both those Thomas Super Wheel cars did a good job. Brian Corey almost made contact with Dwayne Hall when he slid back across the track. But John Westland gives us a replay, bud.
Yeah, it looks like the same place we've been seeing spins all night thus far, and Dwayne Hall, no different. He just gets loose in the tunnel turn there, and around he goes.
All right, well, I got to imagine that this caution's exactly what James Greegate wanted to see, because he was under pressure and falling back. Remember, he stayed out on tires, so I don't know. Jerry Wolf, you hearing anything down there? Are any of these leaders going to hit pit road? Is the 7 car coming?
Guys are real quiet right now. Nobody said what they're going to do. I'm keeping my ears open, but I'm not hearing anything yet.
All right, well, Dave Bass, a lot of these crews hush hush on the radio tonight. Somebody may be listening.
Oh, of course somebody may be listening. That's kind of what they're looking at, The only guy that I can pretty much guarantee is going to be coming down is going to be that Mark Weiss machine to get some new Hoosiers on that thing after the spin he took. But beyond that, I wouldn't be surprised to see James come down and get 4 tires.
Yeah, he's probably screaming at the crew chief, telling him he's coming down pit road, whether you like it or not. Put the ice cream away. I'm getting some fresh Hoosier tires on here, but I don't know. Yeah, well, here come the rest of the leaders. Looks like Schlafer stayed out. Not sure if that was planned. And Bando, he's going to stay out, but you're going to have company on pit road there, Jerry Wolf.
Yeah, guys, this is a mix and match session going on here of who came and who didn't. Looks like more stayed out than came in, but you do have Chris Wilson. That 84 car is on pit road, the 96 in Riddle. The number 7 at Greegate, as we figured would be coming in, he did show up here. Frankie Samanto and Gabaldon are here as well, so we'll see what happens. I would imagine you're going to see 4-tire pit stops. And it looks like Bowling's going to beat them all out, guys.
All right, well, Tony Bowling, he must have changed the 2 that he didn't change last time, so I guess he could be on 4 tires now. I don't know, how would you look at that, Kevin Frank?
Yeah, I'm going back. I'm going to go back and talk to his crew chief and see if, what they did change on that pit stop.
Well, David Bass, let me kick it to you real quick. You got your driver, J.J. Schlafer, out front. And, man, like you said, I believe in race number 1, a breath of fresh air for you and your team this year.
There's no question. You know, it's not much of a secret. The DB Tech Services team has had a little bit of a trouble the last several seasons maintaining drivers. Just seemed like guys would jump on board, and then for one reason or another we'd start to fall off and just never could get a good consistent production out of anybody. And then this year I was fortunate enough to land JJ Schlafer and Frankie Samanto, and those 2 guys have just been outstanding for us, doing just great jobs, putting just solid finishes together.
Yeah, and you got Frank Samanto up there in the points for you for that sponsors championship, and Frank's been running great. But real quick, Jared, Kevin Franks, what you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, I went and talked to the Tony Bowling. They did change just right side tires on that pit stop, but he's coming back in.
Okay,
they may try to.
Next time,
they may go ahead and change left side tires this time. I'll hang here in this pit and see what he's going to do.
All right, well, Tony Bowling giving up a ton of track position, but it looks like you got Schroyer and Spieth, both those Midwest Racing Dodges on pit road. So that team hit pit road, and man, that's not sure what's going on there. Tony Bowling, I guess he's electing to give up that track position. It's early, and I'm going to get back here, maybe out of the way. Some of these guys may be racing a little hard up in front there. But I tell you what, David Bass, these guys staying out, do you think they're saying, oh my God, if we go long green flag run, I should have come down pit road?
There's probably a few that are thinking that, I think, somebody like JJ, maybe Sean Brown, they're not too worried about it because they're far enough in front of the rest of the guys. And by the time the guys get through this traffic and get to them, they're going to have a pretty good lead. These guys that are, I'm going to say, in the back half of the top 10, yeah, they're probably sitting there going, this may not have been such a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris Wilson, who came in, the leader, is all the way back in 11th right now. He's got Burstein right in front of him, who we know is fast. He was your pole sitter, but got some damage. So, I don't know, that 64 car running in 10th, guys, holding in there. But, man, I tell you what, some of these guys electing for track position. Hal Beardsworth, he's all the way up in the 7th. Damon Goldsboro in that 5 car, he's up in the 6th. Tim St. Jean in 5th. Ben Bando, he stayed out. He's going to be running 4th. Ernie D'Alfonso, he's going to restart 3rd. Sean Brown 2nd. And J.J. Schlafer, DB Tech Services, on point. Pace car speeding up out of turn number 4. Going to hit pit road, go down there, drop off the corn dog to my main man, Jerry Wolf. These guys are going to get the green flag. And, man, I tell you, all these restarts have been interesting. 3 wide right from the get-go. And now we got cars that stayed out, getting track position. Green flag is back out. And whoa, and it looks like Bando gives Ernie D'Alfonso a little business on the start there, David Bass.
Yeah, and unfortunately it did not work out for Bando there as Tim St. Jean took advantage of the little bit of slowdown. It looks like he maybe tried to get up into 3rd position there, maybe 4th. I'm not sure exactly where he's going to end up, but get up there with his teammate Ernie D'Alfonso for in the 2nd place there. So Schlafer did a great job getting a good start there, get through turns 1 and 2, heading down towards the tunnel turn. So everybody's done well getting through there, but that was that was close on that restart there, Sean.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, Chris Wilson got himself a 2 for 1 down in turn number 1. He restarted 11th. He's in 9th, and Jerry Hinkle, Jason Calhoun got door to door, and Chris Wilson went right underneath him, made it 3 wide. And Wilson on the move now, looking for 8th from Jason Calhoun, and Burstein trying to follow him. Man, I tell you what, Wilson and them on the move right now, Kevin Franks.
Yes, he is. He's moving up. If I can find him. Just go back to you, Sean.
All right. Kevin Franks tried to get a scoring monitor in order here, but back up front, J.J. Schlafer leads the way in that DB Tech Services Ford Fusion. Ernie D'Alfonso in 2nd. He's moved up one spot. Sean Brown hanging right there in third, but he's under pressure from Tim St. Jean. So these guys, their tires aren't that old. Only about 4 laps on them compared to everybody else, so they're looking pretty strong, Dave Bass.
Right now, give them about another 5-6 laps, and we'll see what happens. Because I think their tires will start to fall off. These guys that got new tires will start to come forward. Like I said, I think these guys are up front. They're not going to be in bad shape. They did a pretty good job of, separating themselves. So I don't think the fall off's going to hurt them too much. But these guys that are in here, 4th, 5th, 6th, they got to watch out because Chris Wilson's coming in a hurry.
Yeah, and I tell you what, one driver, I know he's a pro driver for sure, Sean Brown, needing a good run. He elected, man, I'm going to give you guys this track position. He saw a hole back there, and he's just going to fall in it and ride and try to get some laps in. And, man, he is definitely one that can save tires. But, whoa, Tim St. Jean and Damon Goldsboro back there racing hard. And looks like St. Jean was a little bit loose through that tunnel turn, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, it was. He got just a little bit loose, and Goldsboro got up on him, but he backed off, let Tim gather the car back up so they could keep, not have another caution flag coming out.
All right, across the line, 20 of 80 complete, 60 laps to go. And I tell you what, Chris Wilson, now he's looking underneath the Sean Brown, and Wilson up to 6. But guys, don't look now, but man, we saw Burstein go around, get hammered by the 34, and here he comes. He's on the inside of Sean Brown, and Burstein's going to follow Chris Wilson to the front. And Burstein picks up another spot in the 7th right now.
Yeah, Burstein's doing a great job with a car that's beat up, and we've seen it out of him before, taking a car that's just not in good shape and managing to get a good finish with it. And as they say, there's the caution flag.
Oh, Ben Sides goes around. Gets hammered by, looks like might have been Mark Weist or Brian Corey. Mark Weist. It was Mark Weist because that 23 car's got a right side tire down. So, yeah, he's sparking it up through 3 and 4. So that 23 car made contact with the 59 of Ben Sides. But we'll have to get John Wesley, get us an E-play real quick. See exactly what happened to that MVG car.
Yeah, Treads is always all over these E-plays, guys, and about the same place everybody's been having trouble all night long in that tunnel turn there, and Ben Side just gets loose, and you're exactly right, Sean Bickley. He just gets hammered. Car trying to come through the field there.
Yeah, tough break for the MVG web hosting team tonight. We saw Jack Wilson go around, and now Ben Sides went around. So, man, tough break for that team, and they were hoping to have a good run here tonight. But Jerry Wolf down on pit road. You hearing anything down there?
I think you're going to see a couple guys here pit. I think you'll see some take 2 and some take 4. I think it might be on the opposite rotation of what we had last time there. I do know last time, though, Greegate took 4 tires, what his crew chief told me.
All right, yeah, and Greegate running back in 11. So, not making quite the gains that Chris Wilson was making from that restart there. But, man, Wilson definitely on the move.
Pits are up for all cars.
But field are rolling through 3 and 4 right now. We'll have to see if anybody's going to hit pit road because David Bass, you're right. I mean, these guys, it's kind of cool seeing this pit strategy because some of these guys might get stuck out there on old tires for a long green flag run.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm watching, and most of the field decides to come in there, Sean. I'm a little surprised by that. Some of these guys that came the last time are coming back down and headed to you, Jerry.
Yeah, guys, as I said, I think you're going to see a couple come down and some stay out. And it looks like most of your leaders, J.J. Schaefer and Ernie D'Alfonso, are coming down pit road. And it looks like they got most of the pack in tow with them.
Yeah,
we're going to see how many here. We're going to see how many here Ernie's going to get. Ernie and J.J. Schaefer, how many tires here? But I think you're going to see 4 on both of them.
Whoa, Ernie D'Alfonso, a little too much on the throttle there. Bando beats Chris Wilson off on pit road. And Wow, I tell you what, anybody take 2 tires on that? I know Jay Bunn looks like he got out front there. He may have taken 2 tires.
Yeah, Sean, we can definitely verify it. It looks like Jay Bunn did take 2 tires on that to get himself out in front of the field. JJ Schlafer did a great job getting 4 tires and winning that race with everybody else.
Yeah, good stuff from JJ Schlafer. Good stuff from Ben Bando. He took 4 tires and was able to beat that 84 off of pit road there. So Bando just kind of having a quiet race so far here tonight. But man, I tell you what, Jason Calhoun, he stays out. He's going to be your leader, and Frank Simonto, he's out there. So that other DB Tech Services car, going to stay up here and try to get a points lead, because that's the DB Tech Services car that's at the top of the board right now in the standings for that team. Dave Bass.
Yeah, it's great seeing these 2 cars representing themselves well here. It's like I said, it's a breath of fresh air for this team. The guys are doing great. I expect to see Frank to try to get up front here and maybe get a point for leading the lap here. See what he can do with these guys. But definitely these guys are turning in a great performance here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully all these guys can put in a great performance here tonight. I'd like to see some green flag racing here at Pocono and see how this thing shapes up here. I want to remind everybody that next Friday, August 27th, we're going to be at Chicagoland Speedway. ETV is going to be there, and we're going to have a few broadcasts with us and have them playing. Come up there and hang out and watch them with us. Sim Factory's going to be there with their simulators. Jerry Wolf, he's going to be there. So
got my blanket.
Stop by and get your blankets for the old blanket party for Jerry Wolf. And John Westling and all of us here at the booth will be there. So come up to Chicagoland. Got a full day of racing. ARCA Series is going to be there. They're going to run their race Friday afternoon or evening, and then the Truck Series is going to race that night as well. And Izod IndyCar Series is going to be practicing for their race on Sunday. So, that should be exciting to see those little cars zip around that Chicagoland track. Looking forward to that. But David Bass, man, I can't wait. We're going to be at Westling's house on next Thursday night to do the ASC Team Series Fun Run, and all of us in the booth in one room together. It should be wild and crazy.
Oh, absolutely, Sean. It's always fun. We get together, do these things online, but we're all over the country. The 3 of us, Sean, John, and I, the 3 of us are fairly extensively located within a few hours of each other. But it'll be fun being all in the same room doing this. As we get in the green flag here, Jason Calhoun leading them down.
Yeah, Calhoun takes the green flag. Frank Simonto not wasting any time. He's got some Johnny Hightower gears in that 22 car. He's going to pull out and make the move and take the lead right from the get-go here. Inside, they're still side by side. Calhoun gets it up to speed and fighting them off. Here comes Tony Bowling. He stayed out, gets that track position back. He's inside of Jerry Kokis, and they're 3 wide behind there. Schlafer getting a push from Wilson. Bando Buns in that pink car stuck on the outside. These guys mixing it up down in the tunnel turn, Kevin Frank.
Whoa, that was close.
Bowling.
There it goes.
That's just wreck.
Bowling,
I saw that.
Schlafer, Kokis involved.
Yeah, I was watching that. Schaefer looked like got in the back of Bowling, and he spun around right in front of the other cars. And he's got look like the left front down. He's got some damage he's going to have to get fixed.
Yeah,
okay, the leader just took the yellow.
John, you got a replay on that?
Road's closed.
Yeah, let's cue up the next one, guys. And it looks like 21 of Tony Bowling. I'm not sure if he's going to... It almost... No, I believe he gets loose down there. It almost looked like the DB Tech car there made contact with him, but I think he just got loose on his own will there, guys.
No, John, I took a look at that. What happened there was that DB Tech car came in there kind of hot with 3 around it. Looks like he helped him around a little bit, I believe.
Yeah, it was very close, Jerry Wolf. I couldn't quite tell if he made slight contact or if he just went around on his own and got the wind taken off him.
Well, and guys, I tell you what, 2 cars into the grass that dodged a bullet, the 96 of Riddle and James Greegate, both of those guys just ducked into the grass and missed Tony Bowling coming back down the track. A heck of a move from both of those guys. So all they got to do is come in and wipe the dirt off those cars and some of the grass that may have kicked up, but no damage taken, and pick up a few spots. So amazing right there. But, man, these restarts are just absolutely crazy, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, they are. You know, the tires are cold, the pressures are down, and that tunnel turn has been, you know, it's got a reputation of causing problems. Kind of calamity corner there, and it's going on tonight with this race there, Sean.
Lead cars only. Lead cars only.
Yeah, definitely calamity corner. I tell you what, you know, up here in the booth, these restarts just, you know, look crazy, guys. 3-4 wide bump drafting, and you know, we saw what happened bump drafting with Jimmy Johnson and Kurt Busch, but you know, these guys are smiling and having a good time. This is what they love to do out here, David Bass. Wrap your hands around Thomas Super Wheel and get out and sim race.
Oh yeah, these guys love doing it for sure. You know, that whole deal right there. You know, I know that Tony Bowling's probably not going to be real happy with JJ, but it looked like JJ just got into the tunnel turn a little hard there and kind of slid up the track and just wasn't able to keep off of him. But you know, still it's unfortunate. But yeah, you're right. These guys just love going, you know, and going all out. You know, these guys. You get a few of them that are really good about saving tires and kind of holding back and having something for a real long run. You know, Sean Brown's one that comes to mind. But, you know, these guys just love getting out there racing with each other. Usually we see some pretty good races. For some reason, this track's pretty notorious for this kind of a race happening, though, Sean.
Yeah, it takes a little bit before these guys get settled out and decide, you know, I don't want to ride it. There's caution laps here are absolutely boring. They're long and slow. You can't pass. But, you know, back to that caution real quick. David, you had mentioned, you know, Schlafer was getting in kind of hot into the tunnel turn. And, you know, I know Tony Bowling, he's got to be upset and disappointed because they put that Pilot Chevrolet on the hauler, so he's done for the night. But I tell you what, Schlafer was getting a push from Chris Wilson and Ben Bando down that straightaway. You know, they were 3 wide there
for all cars.
And I think that Schlafer, man, just had so much momentum built up, and you know, couldn't keep the brake on it hard enough, and you know, yeah, just barely got into the back of him. He did. It's not like he drove through him; he just barely clipped him. But you know, when these cars are unloaded in a corner like that, you know, one little tap will send you around, get you loose, and into the wall. And unfortunately, a couple guys get taken out in that. But man, I tell you what, we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here. It looks like pace car is in. Frank Simonto, your leader now, getting some bonus points towards his quest for a championship. Green flag back out. Calhoun second. Chris Wilson in the third. And man, here comes Jay Bunn. Looks like Ben Bando didn't get a good start as Bunn is inside of him down into turn number 1. Kevin Franks, we're racing once again.
Yes, we are. And
there goes
Wilson.
All right, yellow flag, back it down.
Sends him into the wall. Man, we were just talking about Wilson. He's had the fastest car all night. Now he's sitting up against the turn 2 wall, Dave Bass.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. I think these pit strategies may be playing a little bit of a role in this, but, you know, these guys, you know, the first several restarts, which usually are the worst ones, were really good. And now, you know, we've had several restarts in a row here, but these guys haven't even made it through the first lap. So I'm sure there's going to be some words from the officials to these guys to settle it down on the restarts and get another one. You know, and let's see if we can't get a run going here, because this is getting nuts. Wilson's going to have a hard time getting that car back to pit road. He's got to lay right rear tire down.
Leader just took the yellow. Pit road's
closed. And I know he's got to be a little ticked off right now, but you know, I tell you what, they got down into that corner, and Chris Wilson, you know, he's had, you know, probably the fastest car tonight, and you know, Jason Calhoun was, you know, protecting his position down low, but you know, he's a little more off pace than Chris Wilson, I think Wilson was just right on his back bumper, because that 17 car, if you look, has a little bit of damage on the back bumper of it. I think Wilson was just right to the back bumper of it, and they were all just, Jay Bunn was crowded in there as well, and these guys were pushing and going, and, unfortunately around goes Chris Wilson. And, man, he is second in points, so could be a big points night for some of these guys, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, it could be. With last week with the incidents that we had there that shook up the points, and where this going tonight with these incidents, look like the point standing is going to get shaken up again there, Sean.
Yeah, and I misspoke there. Chris Wilson in the driver's standings is third, actually. Frank Simonto's second. Ben Bando's leading, but Chris Wilson's got Elite Sim Racing in second in the Sponsors Championship. So that Elite Sim Racing team may be taking a hit this week.
Pits are open for
but
lead
nonetheless,
cars
yeah,
only.
these points are going to get shaped up, and man, Frank Simonto's staying out and leading some laps the easy way, guys. And boy, he's sitting second in points, so it could definitely be a big points night for him as well. But Jerry Wolf, looks like looks like your leader is going to hit pit road, and a lot of guys stay out.
Yeah, guys, it looks like Simonto decided to come on down. But I believe maybe he only took a couple tires last time, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, he did take 4, I'm hearing. And it looks like Jay Bunn came down with him. We're pretty minimal here. We only got about 5 or 6 cars on pit road. I thought we'd see more. I seriously did. I thought we'd see the leaders on pit road.
Yeah, probably a lot of these guys deciding, you know what, I'm just going to take the tires that I have, because it doesn't look like a long green flag run in sight for these guys right now, unfortunately, and you don't want to be back in traffic. We saw Greegate and Riddle back in traffic have to dive into the grass, and those guys are still out there on the track right now. But tell you what, David Bass, Jason Calhoun stayed out. I'm not sure when he was on pit road last, but another surprise, Doug Burstein in that 64 car bandaged up a little bit, but nonetheless out there running second now.
Yeah, I'm really hoping here for a long run to kind of see who's actually got what with the different tire strategies and everything else that have been going on. You really don't know who's got what as far as a car. The runs haven't been long enough for it to settle out well enough for guys to make passes or anything of that nature. So right now, we've talked about just about everybody in the field at least one point or another tonight, because everybody cycled to the front, everybody cycled backwards. We need a good 15-20 lap run to kind of see what everybody has as far as their cars and their setups go.
Yeah.
Okay, pits are open for all
like
cars.
I said,
We can pit
just
now.
had a couple sprint runs, David, and Chris Wilson seemed to have the car to beat on the sprint run, but I want to see who's got the long run set up. And I tell you, 2 cars I keep my eye on are those ARCA League Manager cars. Tim St. Jean in 3rd and Ernie D'Alfonso in 5th. And they kind of been quiet tonight, and they find themselves up front right now. And we talked about Tim St. Jean in pre-race.
Okay, we're going back to green. Next
fast, got a win. And actually, he got a win here at Pocono a couple weeks ago, I believe, at Elite Sim Racing in the True Gravity All-Pro Series on Tuesday nights, and was able to beat Josh Lawton. And man, I tell you what, he had Lawton crying, didn't he, John Wesley?
He mostly does, and Josh Lawton not one to get beat too often, but he's really been struggling on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, but Tim St. Jean got the win that night, so I know Tim knows how to get it done, and has a good setup. So quietly running in 3rd right now. We'll see what he has. And man, now the fastest car we've seen so far, Kevin Franks, Chris Wilson, he's going to be in the back of the pack with a little bit of damage. So, man, I don't know. We'll have to see how this all shakes out here. Got a long way to go still, though.
Yeah, that's true. We got 50 laps to go, and because Bernstein's up there in 2nd, he's got banged up. So if Chris Wilson's got his car repaired like Bernstein did, yeah, I say he probably be back up there here soon with shortly with enough cautions and use the track position there, Sean.
All right, through the tunnel turn. following the pace car 70 miles an hour right now. I want to remind everybody real quick to get the competitive edge. Get over to www.thomas-superwheel.com. Check out what they got, all the cool wheels. And like I've said before, Hal Beardsworth in that 3-car running 10th right now, racing with a 13-year-old Thomas Super Wheel. So that should tell you something about the quality and craftsmanship of those wheels. And if you're anybody in the sim community, you know Thomas Super Wheel, one of the best. So get over to thomas-superwheel.com. Pace car is in. Jason Calhoun, your leader.
Green.
Green flag is out, bursting in second, and Calhoun looks like he's going to duck low. Let these guys go. Bando's all into the back of Tim St. Jean right now. Riddle, he's going to try to push Ernie D'Alfonso past Bando. So, man, that 24 car, and they're side by side, maybe 3 wide in the back. Here we go again, David Bass.
Yeah, man, these guys are making me nervous there, Sean, as I'm watching through turns 1 and 2. Oh, looks like Tim St. Jean may have gotten a little bit of the wall there coming off of that first corner. But these guys are definitely racing hard for positions so early on in this run. I just don't understand exactly what their thoughts are as they're doing this. Oh, man, Ben Bando gets real loose coming out of the tunnel turn.
Yeah, Bando loose out of the tunnel turn, gets it collected, though, but back behind that, Jason Riddle, he is right now in 5th spot looking under Calhoun. Here comes James Greegate. He's running at 6th for Halls on Post. He's going to get past Calhoun. So Calhoun's strategy staying out, not working out. Hal Beardsworth, he's on the inside of Damon Goldsboro right now. That's a battle for the 8th spot down into turn number 1, Kevin.
Yeah, as Hal looking inside of him, he's able to hold him off for right now. So, but here comes Hal. Looks like he's got a good run coming off the turn, heading down the Long Pond straight over there, Sean.
Yeah, down the Long Pond straightaway. Jason bursting. I tell you what, crew, that relayforlife.org crew got that 64 car patched up. That thing looks like a rocket right now. He's a half a second out front of second place Tim St. Jean, and St. Jean under heavy pressure from Ben Bando right now. And these guys got about a half a second on Ernie D'Alfonso, so the top 5 kind of spread out just a little bit. But back in the pack, Damon Goldsboro, he's going to go under Jason Calhoun. Goldsboro was able to hold off Hal Beardsworth there, so Goldsboro looking strong right now, but you got Team True Gravity Racing lined up on the inside to go past Calhoun. That's a battle for the 9th spot, David Bass.
Yeah, these guys are definitely racing hard right here. Sean Brown trying to follow Hal Beardsworth through, and it looks like he's going to get that done. I think Calhoun knows he doesn't have the car that these guys do, and he's just trying to stay out of the way right now, but you knew that Sean and Hal, whoa, man, Calhoun looks like he may be having some steering issues or something on that car as he's got to weave him back and forth across the track. Now Danny Gabalden's going to take advantage of that and bring some other guys with him. Trying to see who's that, Jerry Kokos and Chris Wilson making a rebound. He's going to be back up to about 12th place, guys, already.
Yeah, Damon Goldsboro in that 5 car, he has got up high in the tunnel turn, not able to keep it down there on the by the rumple strips or whatever you want to call them down there through the tunnel turn, and Hal Beardsworth got through. But man, I tell you what, I think Beardsworth pancaked the door there coming out of that corner. It may have been an electrical issue with computer warp or something, but doesn't seem to slow the car down as he's got his teammate Sean Brown in tow, and they're setting their sights. But man, I tell you what, that is a mess back there. Goldsboro, he's got Wilson inside of him as they head down Long Pond. Here comes Jay Bunn in that Country Time Chevrolet. Kevin Franks.
Yes, he's going to underneath Jason Calhoun, and he makes a pass. You know, like I said, Jason, he's just letting his cars go by. Apparently, the strategy he was working there, it's not panning out for him right now. As Hinkle looks underneath him going in the turn.
Oh, Jerry Kokos just went around. I think that was a misshift, guys, with the way that car went around.
Okay, the leader just took
Yeah,
the
Jerry
yellow.
Kokos, he was
Closed.
loose
Pit road's
coming out of
closed.
the tunnel turn. Had Chris Wilson up underneath them as they headed down into 3, it looked like. And, man, I don't know. Yeah, and, man, I tell you what, that's exactly what it was, Dave. But, John, get us an E-play, buddy.
And you're exactly right. Chris Wilson's underneath him, and he's going to do the old famous Pocono shift. The only master I remember totally mastering that was Joe Sheedy before he hung up the wheel. But he used to do the same thing every time we came to Pocono Speedway. But you're exactly right. That's what Jerry Coates just shifted down too far there, and that's the result.
Yeah, tough breaks for Jerry and Black Flag Racing. That 58 car is going to take some heavy damage to the driver's side, but yeah, I'm getting word they've retired that Chevrolet for the night, and that's not his first incident he was involved in. He was involved in the Tony Bowling incident there, but nonetheless, that's going to do it for the 58 car. But 35 of 80 complete, 5 laps away from the halfway point. Jason Burstein, your leader. Tim St. Jean second. Ben Bando third. And these guys may be hitting pit road, but while they do, let's go picture-in-picture as we step away real quick, take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back to ETV Live.
Okay, pits are open for all cars. We can pit now.
If you're looking for a game server, you come to the right place. MTCO Communications offers state-of-the-art game servers for just $49 a month. No player limits or bandwidth caps. We're talking about a dedicated system here, people, not a shared server with 15 other leagues or users. The monthly fee includes remote access, software, up to 10 email addresses, virus and spam filters, and a remote power cycle interface. It also includes 500 megs of web space for your league or clan website. We're talking state-of-the-art here, gamers. You can't get a better deal on this one all in one package. Get started today with MTCO Game Servers. All you need is a one-time $50 setup fee and your signature on a 6-month contract. $49 a month, hotshot. You'll not get a better deal elsewhere. Setup fees and first 2 months due at the startup. Contact them, www.mtco.com, and give them a call, 1-800-859-MTCO, 1-800-859-6826, and get gaming today.
All right, welcome back to ETV Live, and most of these guys were on and off pit road, and looks like Jason Burstein won the race off of pit road. But Jerry Wolf, give us an update of what exactly went down your way.
Yeah, guys, it looks like Jason Burstein won the race off pit road there, but I noticed that Tim St. Jean's still out on the track at this point. Not sure if he pitted or if I missed something.
No, Tim St. Jean stayed out, so that number 83 car elected to stay out. I don't know if he'll hit pit road this time. I haven't heard anything on my radio that we have here in the booth, but looks like Scott Schroyer, he stayed out. Brian Corey, and for TSW, he stayed out. He's in third. So those three stayed out, and they may be looking to get some track position. But I don't know. Looks like they're going to hit pit road this time. So, man, Tim St. I just don't understand some of these strategies, David Bass, of being, running second.
Okay, we're going back to green next time by.
And then pitting the second time by and losing all that track position. I mean, I don't know. Can they make it? I guess they can make it all the way 50 laps on fuel. They could go all the way on fuel, but I don't think they could on the tires.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly myself on some of this strategy, unless Tim wanted to get up there and get that bonus point for leading a lap. But I mean, some of these strategies definitely don't make a lot of sense. Fortunately, we're not even quite halfway through this race, so there's no question that Tim can get back to the front as it goes. But he's going to have to be careful, because we've seen an awful lot of spins and wrecks about mid-pack on back.
Well, Jerry Wolf, what you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, guys, I talked to Tim St. Jean there, and he was just looking for bonus points. And he's got a long way to go. We got over half the race to go. If you're going to do it now, I guess now's the time to go get him, eh?
Yeah, I reckon. I don't know. That's what I was getting ready to say. I mean, do you feel it's more treacherous, Kevin Franks, to stay out? I mean, you're running second, run up in the front with the leaders, where the racing's pretty, hard but decent, or do you take a chance trying to come up through the field and getting involved in a wreck?
Well, you're not sure either way, because if you stay up the front with older tires, you got the ones that's fresh behind you that, they will get right up on you faster than they anticipated, and possibly bump you and spin up into the wall, like we saw happen with Chris Wilson there a couple of cautions ago. Hey, Sean.
Yeah, but here's what I don't understand, Sean. Here's the concept that I'm not understanding about that. If that 83 car would have stayed out with Jason Burstein, that 83 car doesn't have a lick of damage on it, but Jason Burstein's holding it under the cars for him. He could have maybe got a bonus lap that way, you know what I'm saying?
Green flag, go, go, go.
Yeah, we'll never know because that 83 hit pit road, but green flag is back out. Jason Burstein, your leader, back to the front. He was your pole sitter tonight, got some damage, but he's going to have Jason Riddle looking underneath him going into one. And here comes James Kriegate looking underneath the Ernie D'Alfonso for the the fourth spot, excuse me. And man, Ernie D's way up there. The ball at Beardsworth. Ernie looking 3 wide out of turn number 1. Not going to happen, but these guys fanning out down the long pond, David Bass.
Yeah, Frank Simano is going to take it 3 wide on the bottom to try to get past some of these guys down below, Danny Gabalden and some of the others, and he wisely decides to back out of it. A little bit of contact between him and Damon Goldsboro, but everybody's holding it up, doing a great job here, keeping their cars going straight, but definitely some tight racing.
Frank's around.
Back it down.
Looked like Frank just got a little bit loose, and him and Goldsboro touched, and then Frank just ended up going on around, and we got to the wall.
Closed. Pit road's closed.
No, I gotta tell you, I think that 5 car came down on that 22 car, but I think the 22 car is pretty short up that.
Yeah, tough break for Frank Simonto. Man, second in points, was having a good run, and there you go. I mean, you know, remember he stayed out, got in the back of the pack, but now finding trouble. John Westling got the E-play for us?
Yeah, it looks like Frank Simano dives it in hard in that corner and just pushes right up into the door panel of that 5 car. There wasn't nowhere for him to go, and that's going to put Frank Simonto in that DB Tech Services car on the outside wall, guys.
Yeah, John, I checked on that. I do agree with you on that. You are correct. He did dive it in pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm looking on watching the E-play now on my monitor, and yeah, sure enough, he just got in there and couldn't hold her down there on the bottom and washed right up there and taking some heavy damage. So, so what I was saying, Kevin, do you go to the back and take a chance getting back to the front, or you maintain that track position? I'm sure some of these guys are going to start rethinking their strategies if they were planning on doing that, but definitely going to have a shake-up in the points. And Ben Bando running quietly in third.
Cars.
He may put some distance on these guys tonight.
Yeah, sure. The way he's running, of course, you know, like I said, you know, you're not sure how it's going to go either way, because you know you got the guys in behind you that's fresh with fresh tires who could run up on you and hit you. Then you get in the back, and then you got, just like happened with Frank, you know, you have a get in too hard and push up and get into somebody and spin and get in a wreck. So
next time by.
You know, it's kind of 50-50 either way there, Sean.
All right, well, we got 1 to go. Looks like officials decided to put this thing in the hurry-up mode, which is good to see here. But not really understanding why some of these a lot of these cautions are happening. But nonetheless, it does happen in racing. And unfortunately, it's struck here tonight at Pocono and can't seem to get enough laps consecutively under green to see who's got a good car for the long run. But man, don't know. And I tell you what, though, I think I was just thinking about the points, and you know, Ben Bando, your defending series champion, running in third, and second and third place in points, having trouble tonight, and maybe extending that points lead. And you know, as strong and you know as good as Ben Bando is, you know, as a driver, and he wins his championship this year, it'd be 2 championships in a row, plus give him the best wheel out there on the net to sim race with, and I mean, we just won't be able to touch him anymore. Dave Bass.
It's definitely something to think about. I almost wonder if you know, the TSW shouldn't go to the the guy that finishes in last place in the series, maybe give him something, a good piece of equipment to race with. But yeah, Ben's doing just an outstanding job, doing exactly what he needs to do to win this championship.
How about
some
the
of these
guy?
other guys seem to be pushing their luck a little bit.
How about the guy that doesn't have a dent on his car after this one, David Bass?
Hey, that's a good idea too, there, JW.
Maybe we'll give him a DVD of this race so he can go back and watch how he missed all the carnage here at Pocono. Pace cars
Green,
in,
green,
we're
green, green.
halfway, green flag back out, so let's see if we can make the second half of this race a lot better, but they're racing once again, staying in line now. Riddle pulls right up to the back of Bursting. He's going to make a move on him down into turn one. Greegate looks low on Ben Bando. Here comes Jay Bunn and that pink Country Time Chevrolet trying to push it on the high side. And Bando looks like he's going to move into second out of turn number 2, Kevin Franks.
Yes, they head down the Long Pond. James Greegate's right behind Bando, and look like they may try to drive to get past Jason if they can, and maybe even do that to try to get past Bernstein there, David.
Yeah, guys, I watched that. Riddle looked like he was going to have Bursting cleared there, getting into turn 1 and through there, but he actually ended up getting a little bit tight, getting a little bit loose, doing that kind of push loose thing that we've talked about in the past, and slid up the racetrack and lost all his momentum and allowed Bando and Greegate to get by him. So Bursting's really got to worry now, because that Bando machine's coming very, very quickly.
Yeah, and also James Greegate, he made a power move on Riddle, but man, the battle I'm looking at right now is for 5th spot. Ernie D'Alfonso, then you got Jay Bunn and the yellow and pink Chevrolet right there. Chris Wilson's rebounded. He's back up in 7th right now. And Hal Beersworth gets clipped by Gabalden. Takes a little bit of damage on the right side, but keeps it going. Man, I tell you, that was close. And around goes Beersworth right there, and he DNFs. We're still green flag racing right now, so he was able to somehow magically get that car into the garage area real quick to avoid the cost of coming out. But we're clean and green. Bursting leading the way out of turn number 3 and 4. Bando hot on his trail, and top 4 single foul right now. So the battle right now is going to be for 6th spot between Jay Bunn and Chris Wilson, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, Chris is looking underneath Jay there, but Jay's holding him off right now. That damage on Chris Wilson, maybe holding him just a little bit as far as his speed, trying to get up around Jay there, Sean.
Yeah, Jay Bunn seems to be able to hold him off right now, and the rest of the field still single foul. And man, we talked about points, and boy, that's really going to hurt Hal Beardsworth. He was your points leader last week at Bristol. Found trouble again this week at Pocono, unfortunately. And the hatchet is in the hauler with the door closed, and I'm sure he is destroying my hauler down there. But nonetheless, we'll get the hatchet cooled off and see what he can do at Richmond next week. But Jason Burstein's still your leader. Puts 44 of 80 on the board right now, and man, David Bass, Ben Bando is coming in a hurry.
Yeah, he is. I've been watching through this field, and especially I've noticed it big time coming up off of turn 1 there through that first corner. These guys are really, really running these cars loose. You see them get real sideways on a couple of these shots. So these guys running these cars loose is definitely not helping them down here in the tunnel turn too much, as we've seen tonight. But Burstein's doing a good job right now holding off Bando. I'm surprised with the amount of damage that Burstein has on that car that he's being able to do it. As Chris Wilson now looks like he's going to get a run on Jay Bunn and may be able to get him cleared down here in turn 3.
Yeah, Chris Wilson able to clear the 37 to Jay Bunn, so Wilson into 6th. The battle I was looking at may have been getting started was back here for 11th. The 5 of Damon Goldsboro and the 92 of Steve Speece. They looked like they were getting ready to start mixing it up there, but nonetheless got back in line. That's 11th and 12th. And remember, Tim St. Jean gave up that track position. He is back up to 14th right now, guys. So Tim St. Jean, hopefully he can get that number 83 ARCA LM Chevrolet back up to the front. And John Wesley, you saw a car smoking down the front straightaway up there, didn't you?
Yeah, there's smoke trailing from one of these cars in the top 10. I haven't quite been able to nail it on the head which one it is, but there's definitely smoke coming out of one of these cars in the top 10, guys.
All right, well, back up front, Jason Burstein's still your leader. Ben Bando. He has cut the deficit down to a 1/10 of a second right now, and James Gregate all right there. And man, I tell you, this might be the longest green flag run we've had. So we'll see if some of these guys settle down, thinking maybe we can get a long run in here. But looks like Steve Spieth's guys back here around 13th. Looks like he's getting passed. He got passed by Calhoun. Now Jerry Hinkle's making a move on Damon Goldsboro. Or actually Goldsboro, I believe, made a move on Hinkle on the outside. Looks like a pass for the lead. Sorry, real quick, Jerry got a pass for the lead. Bando was able to catch Jason Burstein out of turn number 1. Gets loose on the inside. They're still side by side out of the tunnel turn. Burstein's got the momentum right now. James Gregate's going to look high. He's going to try to get in the mix, but man, Bando really get that car to cut through the corner right now down the long straightaway, and may have this lead down in turn 1. But Jerry Wolf, what do you got for us?
Yeah, guys, I think that pass for the lead there came after the crew chief told the 51 that he needed to keep it off of the wall. Right before that happened, a couple laps before that, seen the 51 bounce it off the wall about 2 or 3 times.
Well, I tell you what, Bando pulled out to make a move. Burstein was able to fight him off, and Bando into the wall again, but he lost the spot to James Gregate. Now here comes James Gregate looking inside of your leader, Jason Burstein, as they head down into the tunnel turn right now. Let's see if Gregate can get it done on Jason Burstein.
I tell you what, guys, watching this battle up here, these guys better be careful, because with the way they're racing, I could see 4 cars here getting wadded up in a big hurry as Jason Riddle now joins this battle, and he moves past Ben Bando. I think that the few times that Bando's been on the wall here so far is going to start taking a toll on his car as Riddle starts to move up and sets his sight on Gregate.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to the back there, David Basson. John, I think we found your smoker, bud.
Yeah, I was just
Jason
looking at that, Jerry Wolf. It's that 96 car Lead Sim Racing machine of Jason Riddle. He's heavily smoking at the end of the straightaway, so he's probably going to have to take a little tape off that. Let's just hope his motor don't blow before.
Yeah, I tell you what, these guys really pushing these cars and really setting a blistering pace right now. But man, I tell you what, I am really impressed with Burstein. We've seen 2 drivers try to get inside of him, make it happen, and he was able to fight them off on the outside. And man, with all that damage, boy, that car is going to be hard to beat tonight. But here comes Riddle on the inside of James Gregate, battle for second, coming out of turns 3 and 4. And Riddle, no drafting help. And here comes Ernie D sneaks out. He's got Chris Wilson. These 2 guys have snuck into the fray right now. So they're drafting. They're going to be side by side with Gregate and Bando down into turn number 1, and Riddle's in the second spot. Kevin?
Yes, they come out of the turn 1 heading down the Long Pond straightaway. They steer 2 by side, I guess. Ernie and Chris Wilson behind him, trying to get past Bando, and of course Bando's drafting off James Gregate, so it's going to be interesting to see who this going to make the pass on this. Oh, and then we're going 3 wide right there. That's close.
Wow, 3 wide through the tunnel turn, and something might be wrong with that 7 car of Gregate, because he is really just falling off the pace. He may have just let these guys go. Not exactly sure, but he really backed out of it there. But man, nonetheless, Burstein is just putting the pressure on now. He's pulled away from Riddle, 7/10 of a second right now. But unbelievable. It's 50 and 80 laps complete, 30 to go, and the smoker Jason Riddle down into turn number 1, trying to run him down and see if he can catch that 64 car, David.
Yeah, guys, I think James Gregate may have gotten a little loose right there with everybody pushing him as hard as he was, and that may be what happened is he had to get out of the throttle to keep from looping that car, and that caused a little bit of a bottleneck, which worked beautifully for Chris Wilson and Ernie D, but didn't work as well for Bando and Gregate. But Ben Bando's still right there on the back of Chris Wilson. Man, these guys are getting loose coming up off that tunnel turn.
Yeah, these guys pushing it right to the limit right now. Wilson loose out of the tunnel turn, but gets a run, able to go past Ernie D. Ben Bando, he's inside of Ernie D right now. As they come out 3 and 4, they're side by side as they cross the stripe, and James Gregate just sitting back there, and he may be in tire saving mode, knowing that we may see some green flag racing going on. But nonetheless, back in the pack, you got Scott Schroyer and Jason Calhoun, they're battling right now. That's a battle for 14th as they head down into one, and they're still side by side. And a little bit of contact right there between Schroyer and Calhoun, but nonetheless, they keep going in the right direction. But back up front, Kevin Franks Burstein has put the hammer down and just pulled away.
Yeah, he has. He's opened up a 9/10 of a second lead over Riddle, who's still smoking going down the straightaway. Now, of course, if Wilson gets up behind him and they can draft, they might be able to catch Bernstein going down this long straightaways here, Sean.
Yeah, we got a battle brewing back here around 9th spot. Jerry Hinkle, he's on the outside. Sean Brown on the inside. Brown's going to pick up that 9th spot. And Tim St. Jean, he's looking to move into the top 10 again after his pit stop there. He's going to follow Sean Brown down this long straightaway underneath Hinkle down in turn number 1. So Tim St. Jean back into the top 10, Dave Bass.
Yeah, guys, I tell you, this is working out beautifully for Tim because, he came down on that last caution, put tires on this thing, filled it up with fuel, so he's got the best tires on the track. This long run's exactly what he needed. Tim's good about long run setups, so he and Sean Brown probably would work together real well to try to do something. Even as I say it, there goes Tim St. Jean on the outside in the tunnel turn trying to make a pass on Sean Brown.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was planned, if Sean just, let him go, because they got into turn 1 and looked like they were mixing it up and trading some
right, yellow
paint.
flag, back in
But
down.
caution
yellow.
is out. Looks like Jack Wilson for MVG Web Hosting's gone around once again, and he's decided to put that one on the hauler. So caution out here, lap 53. And so all that lead that Jason Burstein and them had, and man, this is exactly what Tim St. Jean needed, a caution to get back on cycle with these guys and back into 9th spot. So, man, that worked out well for that number 83 ARCA LM Chevrolet. But, John, you got a play on Jack Wilson for us?
Yeah, he just lost it right there in the tunnel turn, guys. Same place all night long. I mean, he just came in that corner, just lost a handle on it coming off the tunnel turn there, and around he went, hard licking the outside wall. And he's going to put that car in the hauler, Bickle.
All right, well, tough break for MVG Web Hosting and Jack Wilson, and they'll regroup, head on to Richmond, Virginia, see what they can do there. But nonetheless, caution out right now, and Burstein trying to pick up the pace car out there on the track, slow these guys down once again. And man, I don't know. I imagine, David Bass, everybody's going to be headed down pit road this time. That was the longest green flag run, and boy, I tell you what, it looked like Burstein had the car to beat.
Oh, there's not much question about that. I mean, he was fast early on, but it looked like the car just kept getting faster and faster for him. I think on equal tires and on an equal restart here, I think Chris Wilson, Jason Riddle may have something for him. But he's definitely got a really fast car, especially considering the damage that he took early on in this race.
Yeah, I tell you, it's going to be interesting. What I'm going to want to see now is another run like that after all these guys hit pit road and get on the equal tires. Because I was getting a little confused at who had pitted and who took 2, and I imagine all these guys will be taking 4 tires this time. So it'd be interesting to see, and some of these guys make adjustments, because that 64 car is blazing fast. But I tell you what, we were talking about some point implications, and Chris Wilson has definitely rebounded nicely after his trouble down in 1 and 2 earlier, and running up in the 3rd spot right now, right behind his teammate Jason Riddle. So Jerry Wolf, if you're back from the corn dog stand, buddy, the entire field is going to be headed down pit road to you.
Yes, sir. I think you're going to see all of them, Mr. Bickley. You got one that's going to stay out there. Looks like it's going to be I couldn't see how that went by Brian Corey there, but I think you're going to see them all take 4 tires here. Hopefully we'll all get back on a sequence together, and as you said, we'll be able to keep track of what's going on, because I've kind of lost track myself.
Yeah, guys, Burstein thought he overshot his pit box there. Looks like he's in cruise. The officials letting him go on and pit the car, so No foul there, and Chris Wilson's down and away. Here comes Riddle, and contact between Wilson and Riddle. Oh, and Bando gets punted by Danny Gabolden coming out of pit lane. He's inside. He's sitting the wrong way down in the grass down there. Not exactly sure exactly what happened. What was going on down there. 84, I don't know what happened. The car came out of gear, but he kind of checked up and was weaving back and forth, and then Gabolden just punted Bando nowhere to go. And your points leader is now having trouble. He's back out on track, but now taking damage to that car. So, wow, all kinds of stuff going on pit road, Jerry Wolf.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy down there, wasn't it? I would imagine you'll see Bando back in getting some repairs taken care of before we go back green.
Yeah, well, he's back to 18th right now. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get his spot back out on the track and where he crossed the pit outline. You know, if he got punted before that or if it was after that. But nonetheless, wow, Bando was running in the top 5, back to 18th now after that. And maybe hitting pit road again. So that's going to make his night even longer here, trying to get back to the front, guys.
Yeah, I think you're going to see, oh, he is coming back up front here. Here we go, Mr. Bickle. And okay, needs to be behind 7 car.
All right, well, that's a good break for him there. You know, he got a little bit of damage. I think both sides of the car's kind of banged up now, but at least officials let him get his spot back there out on the track, so Bando will realign in 5th spot instead of 18th, which I'm sure he is thanking his lucky stars for that. But man, I tell you what, look at Tim St. Jean up into 6th, picked up 3 spots on pit road, guys, and wow, all the players back up front now. Jason Riddle 2nd, Chris Wilson 3rd, and James Greengate 4th, and as we saw, Ben Bando a little bit of trouble. Let's see if he can keep that car up there, Kevin Briggs.
Yeah, because we've seen from Chris Wilson and Bernstein, you know, to get some damage, they'll be able to keep their cars up front. So I think Bando will be able to keep his car up there because he might not have as quite as heavy damage as Chris Wilson and Bernstein did early in their race.
Yeah, right there, looking at my camera shot, that back bumper, both sides of it kind of beat in, but that's better than the, rather have the rear bumper caved in than the front bumper, I guess you could say.
Just amazing, guys, how that 64 car, Jason Bernstein, can keep that car up front like that and actually be pulling away from everybody after he backed it into the wall. And what, it was about lap 10.
Yeah, but I tell you what, just like I just said, you know, that was the back of the cars what took the damage, and the front of it, you know, didn't take any damage. So rather have the back end banged up than the front end, because that'll destroy your aerodynamics. But yeah, I tell you what, boy, that Bernstein's definitely got a rocket ship in that 64 car. But I don't think Riddle and Wilson are going to let him get too far away on this restart, and I know these guys are going to be trying to push it hard here to get that 64 back in traffic, because the air can play some havoc back in traffic. But pace car is in. We're looking for the green flag
go,
here.
Go, go.
There it is, and Bernstein gets a good restart here. Everybody single file, nobody pulling out of line right now. Riddle and Wilson, they're going to try to draft and get a run out of turn number 1, but the green flag right here comes Tim St. Jean down on the inside of Ben Bando, David Bass.
Yeah, guys, these guys are stacked up here a little bit. Tell you, one of those cars back there looked like maybe Jerry Hinkle got real loose there, kind of getting through turns 1 and 2, kind of had to back it off a little bit to save the car and kind of stacked everybody up. But here comes Riddle on Bernstein.
Right to the door. Jason Riddle not able to make the pass stick. Jason Bernstein, he's going to motor out of the tunnel turn, still in the lead down into turn number 3 right there. Riddle gave it a shot, but he's going to have to regroup and see if Buddy Wilson can push him back up to Bernstein. These guys are going to be pushing it hard as we cross the line. 58 of 80 complete. We got 22 laps to go. This thing slowly but surely winding down. And all these cars still single file. Is a little bit further back. Jerry Hinkle's making a move on Jason Calhoun. That's a battle for 11th spot, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, Hinkle's been running a pretty good race. He's kept his car clean. He's avoided some trouble, and see if he's got that car gathered up underneath him. See if we can make that pass on the Calhoun going in the turn there with David.
Yeah, guys, I was kind of watching through this field. Everybody's pretty much staying single file, like you said. Burstein now looks like he may be starting to make a little bit of room between himself and Riddle, so it may be just what he needed. But everybody's doing a pretty good job here. Just kind of watching back here. It looks like Calhoun and Hinkle figured out what they were going to do there, although he's going to try to get back there again. So, here comes Hinkle on Calhoun as they hit down towards turn 1. Now we'll see if Jason's able to hold him off through turns 1 and 2 here, guys.
Yeah, battle out of turn number 1 right there. That's battle for 11th spot. Back up front, Jason Burstein still motoring. Riddle Wilson right in tow, and James Griegate right there behind them. And man, give a call out to Damon Goldsboro in that 5 car. New to the series, and actually the ARC Sim Racing Club got himself a win Saturday night at Texas. So definitely a fast driver, and knows how to get it done out on the track, and having a good run right now, and running in 7th spot. So I have to see if that 5 car can get up there in the front. But I tell you what, all these leaders kind of single file, and at this point in the race, I know myself as a driver, I'm kind of like, okay, I need to push it because I need to keep up with Burstein, but I need to save tires because if this thing does go green with 20 laps to go, you're going to want something at the end, David Bass. So what would you be thinking? And wow, Goldsboro just made contact with the wall. Like, what's jinx? Something else.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm not real sure at this point. It depends on where I'm at. If I'm up in that lead group, I want to keep up with Burstein. If I'm back here mid-pack or further back, I'm finding a hole, and I'm finding a place where I can just run my lap time, run my line, and just let the race kind of run out at this point. Because especially if we can get a long green flag run, a lot of times you'll be able to get up there and start mixing up with those leaders as the run comes to an end, because you'll have tires that they won't.
Yeah, man, we were talking about Damon Goldsboro, and he's right now side by side with Danny Gabalden. That's battle for 7th spot. Gabalden has it. Jay Bunn, he's right in tow in that pink and yellow car, and Ernie D'Alfonso's into the mix. I tell you what, last time by on the Long Pond straightaway where they are right now, Gabalden gave Goldsboro a little business, and I think Goldsboro may have put a slide job on him, and Danny didn't take too kindly to it. But Goldsboro nonetheless falls back, loses those 3 spots. He's back to 10th right now, and Gabalden's on the move in 7th. But man, back up front, guys, Jason Riddle has run down Burstein once again, and slowly but surely getting close. And he's going to try to get a run on him down this straightaway. We're going to put 62 on the board when they cross the stripe this time, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, as they head down, because he's got his teammate Chris Wilson tucked him up behind him, and then about a car length behind that is James Greggate. But you figure with and Jason, he's smoking again, so they look like they didn't take any tape off that car there, Sean.
Yeah, and I tell you, that's the lead pack there, and they're trying to run Burstein down, but I'm looking back here in 11th, 12th, 13th. You got Hinkle, Calhoun. You got Scott Schroyer right there in that blue number 12 car. His teammate Steve Spees, and Schlafer and Chip Willis, Sean Brown's in there. And man, these guys have been mixing it up as Schroyer and Calhoun door slamming each other down into the tunnel turn right now. And that ain't the first time these 2 cars have traded a little bit of that paint. So they're side by side mixing it up for the 13th spot right now, and going hard way back here in the pack with 18 to go, David Bass.
Yeah, that's the great thing about this series, Sean, is there's racing all the way through this pack, all the way through this race. It's very rare to find a place where you're out here by yourself without having somebody else to race, which makes it really fun here. It looks like Sean Brown's going to get by J.J. Schlafer, who's going to have Frankie Zamonta right there on his back bumper here in a few minutes. The 2 DB Tech Services cars looked so promising early in the race, found a little bit of trouble and kind of falling towards the back. But I give these 2 guys credit for just keeping motoring on. A lot of teams would have just pulled their cars at this point, but they're doing a great job.
All right, back up front for the lead. Chris Wilson is able to get around Jason Riddle, and now he's side by side with Burstein. We've seen 2 or 3 drivers try this and not happen, but it looks like Wilson is able to keep the power down. They're side by side as they cross the stripe. 64 of 80 laps complete. Side by side for the lead. Chris Wilson, he's got the inside preferred position as they get down into turn number 1. Still side by side. Burstein's got the RPMs up. Wilson tries to get in there, keeps it off of them. They're still side by side as they get off of the corner and down the straightaway, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, as they head down the straightaway, you figure Jason Ritter would probably jump in behind Chris and help, teammates drive to him, but Jason stayed behind Bernstein, which is kind of surprising there, David.
Yeah, I was just watching that myself. I was trying to figure out what exactly was going on there, because I would have figured Jason would have, like you said, got in there behind his teammate Chris Wilson, but instead stayed in the high line behind Jason Bernstein and allowed Bernstein to maintain the lead. I'm certain that there's probably going to be some discussion about that here later on.
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing, guys. That you usually see that 84-96 hooked up, and anytime they can team up, just, putting it to them and dominating, why they didn't line up. But, man, I tell you what, that's about the 4th time that we've seen somebody pull out, try to make a move, and it not work. And Wilson said, I want one more shot at it. He's going to pull out and go low into the tunnel turn on Burstein. Let's see if he can get it done this time. He drives it in hard and gets it done. Burstein backs the corner up, trying to do the crossover. Not going to happen. Makes contact with the wall, but nonetheless, new leader Chris Wilson here on lap 65. So here we go, guys. 15 laps to go, and starting to mix it up for the lead.
Oh! Yeah, and I was watching that, and Bernstein just absolutely cut through the center of the corner and just about got into the back of Wilson right there through that turn 3 area right there. Fortunately, was able to get off the throttle to keep from getting in the back of Chris there, but that was close, guys.
Well, top 4 right there together. James Griegate, he's in that 7 car, tailing right onto the back of these guys, just waiting for them to wreck each other, and he's going to come out shining here. And here goes Riddle. He's going to try to look inside of Jason Bernstein this time. Riddle Bernstein slams the door and puts a little bit of a block on him to protect the position, so not going to happen for Riddle. But, man, top 4 pulling away by about 2 seconds on Tim St. Jean, and points leader Ben Bando back in 6th. And got a little bit of racing going on back here for 8th spot. Jay Bunn in the pink Country Time Lemonade Chevrolet, and Danny Gabald and Ernie D's right up there, and Damon Goldsboro. These guys haven't stopped racing, but looks like their battle is settled down right now. But back up front, here comes Bernstein to make a move on Chris Wilson down into turn number 1, Kevin.
Yeah, as they head down into turn 1 there, Chris Wilson looked like he's had a bunch of tape because there was smoke coming out of his car as they entered that turn. So, he's able to hold Bernstein off and look like gained some space between them there going into the Turner turn there, David.
What teamwork there,
Yeah,
guys.
guys,
Did you see that out? Chris Wilson dived down low to try and pull Chris Wilson down underneath Bernstein there. Did you guys catch it?
Yeah, I was just going to say there, John, I was watching that, there's probably going to be some discussion about potential blocking and everything else going on here. So far, I've not really seen anything real blatant. I have seen a bunch of cars kind of scattering around this track here trying to break the draft a little bit, and I think that may be a little bit of what's happening here. Like you said, John, Chris Wilson's trying to let Jason Riddle get beyond Bernstein, but I think right now these cars are just so evenly matched that that's going to be a difficult thing for any of these guys to do, is to break free of each other.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it looks like Riddle's car may be going away from him just a little bit. He's got Griegate pushing him right now, and Griegate might be looking on the high side. And that's kind of been the story for Jason Riddle lately.
All right, yellow
car's
flag,
good
back
for
it
about
down.
10 laps, then goes away, but caution out on the speedway right now. It's going to be Frank Simano again. Looks like he's involved. He's slow up next to the wall out of turn number 1. But he got down in turn number 1 right in front of Brian Corey, and actually Sean Brown got loose right in front of him. Frankie Simano hits him and into the wall, so that one might be on the 65 car, but John Westling, get us an E-play for it.
Okay, the leader just
Yeah,
took
you're
yellow.
exactly
Get
right.
those
Sean
closed.
Brown almost
Get those
had that
closed.
car saved, and he got tapped from the back and lights out for that 65 car, Sean Brown.
Yeah, and get a camera on the 22 car of Frank Simano, because if you look where it says Camry, it looks like it is shoved over to the left a ton, so that car's got some heavy damage. And once again, Frank Simano second, or third in points, excuse me. Second in points, excuse me again. Having some trouble here and just wanting to get out of Pocono right now, David Bass.
Yeah, I think the whole DB Tech team right now is just ready to get out of get out of Pocono here, Sean. It's been a rough outing. You know, these are to be expected every now and then. I know that these guys will go back to the shop and figure out what they can do so that the next time we visit this place, we're in a little better position.
Well, all right, we got 11 laps to go, guys. So this race getting ready to wind down. Chris Wilson, your leader, Burstein, and Greegate was able to get past Riddle and move in third. You know, all these guys will be hitting pit road. Pit road's going to be a busy place, so hopefully Jerry Wolf hasn't fallen asleep down there and he can call all the action for us. But man, we've seen some crazy restarts.
Okay, pits
second
are up
half
for
of the
all
race
cars.
gotten a lot
We can
better
pit
as
now.
far as cautions go. Finally getting some green flag runs in. But I imagine these last 10 are going to be exciting to say the least. But
Yeah.
Jerry Wolf, what are you awake down there?
Corn dogs.
Well, they're on pit
I'm
road
awake.
to you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm away, guys. I think you're going to see quite a few cars coming down here for the last 10 laps. I'm just not sure that staying out would be a wise choice at this point. Still got 10 full laps to go, and that's quite a bit on these tires. I think you're going to see them coming down. If they stay out, I think it's going to be a bonus point thing.
Everybody's in. Burstein's in. It's like crew running around. Chris Wilson's in. Here comes Schlafer. Gets in a little bit late. And looks like Tim St. Jean, he's going to be first off the pit road, possibly two-tire stop right there, and Ernie D'Alfonso is going to be second. So the ARCA League managing team electing for two-tire stops, it looks like, and those guys are going to be lining up first and second. And Kevin Franks, I don't think that was a good call on those two cars. I mean, I know they're fast, but like Jerry Wolf said, 10 laps here at this big track. That's a lot of laps if it goes green all the way.
Yeah, you're right. Both cars did take two tires, and we saw early in the race when was it the 21 car took two tires, Tim Bowling, and you know he got kind of shoved back towards the back, and I think that's going to happen this time as well. You know, you got we see how fast Chris Wilson is, and those two cars, the two tires, I think Chris is going to take them pretty quickly.
All right, David Bass, man, I tell you what, these guys could be playing the strategy of, you know what, under 10 to go, maybe a rash of cautions, and we'll just lead them under pace speed and maybe have to hold these guys off for 1 or 2 laps.
I think that's exactly what they're kind of got in the back of their mind there, Sean. They've seen how this race has kind of gone. You know, traditionally this is kind of what happens. We get a couple of good runs and then we get down to within about 10 laps to go, and it's going to be just you know, everybody knows they've got to go. They've got to make as many positions as they can as quickly as they can, and it's very possible that these guys are planning
Okay,
the strategy like you said,
that
that we're going to have a rash of cautions here and they're not going to actually get a chance to get challenged.
All right, well, we got the 1 to go. We'll see exactly how it plays out. And, man, I tell you what, tough break for the Country Time Lemonade crews for Jay Bunn, getting into the longest line penalty, speeding on pit road. So, man, tough break for Jay Bunn, new to the TSW Pro Series here. And he'll be trying to get some positions back from the end of the longest line there. But, man, they cross the line. We're going to have 8 laps to go. Hopefully we can get 8 laps of green flag racing in and just see if Tim St. Jean, I tell you, if he can get it done here at Pocono. We know he can. I wonder about those 2 tires. But he's got his teammate back there to run blocker for him. So, man, I tell you what, Kevin Franks, these guys might be 3 wide as soon as they drop the rag.
No, I wouldn't doubt it. Right after they cross the start-finish line, they'd probably branch that 3 wide and probably make it really exciting here this next last 8 laps.
Yep. And while these guys cycle around here under caution, getting ready to take the green flag, I want to remind everybody to come back tomorrow night for the ASC Team Series. They're going to be here at Pocono, and some of the drivers in this series here you'll see running for Elite Sim Racing, and Kevin Franks, you'll be running for Arca Sim Racing Club, and you'll be down there on the track getting it done, and we'll be calling all the action you provide for us up here at ETV, and that's going to get started at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So everybody tune in tomorrow night, and if you didn't catch the ASC Team Series race from Salem last Thursday, go to EliteSimRacingTV.com, the home of ETV Live, and check it out. Probably one of the best races that we've seen at Salem, and with that ASC Team Series. So go check it out. But pace cars in, 10 St. Jean, the leader. We're going to have 8 laps to go. Here we go. Let's decide this one under green flag racing. Tim gets a push from Ernie D, and Wilson gets a great jump, and he's going to pull low on Ernie D as they head down into turn number 1, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, as they head down into turn 1, Chris gets past Ernie, and he's getting right up on the bumper of Tim. So like I said, those 2 tires don't look like it's going to work out for him right now. And as Jason Ritter looks underneath Justin Bernstein going down the Long Pond straightaway there, David.
Yeah, guys, and here comes Wilson on Tim St. Jean. Kind of what we expect to see. Close racing right there. Maybe a little bit of contact, but so far everybody's going the right direction. But that is really, really close racing. Here comes Bursting on the back of Wilson. This is going to get tight, guys, and this is going to get tight fast.
Hey, guys, look like we got the 5 in the wall back here, and he's got a right rear down, and it looks like he's trying to get it to pits, and I'm not sure if he'll get it there without a yellow.
Oh, I tell you what, guys, we about had a wreck on the front stretch with Wilson and Tim St. Jean and Jason Burstein. Tim did a great job keeping that car going straight, but he had it basically sideways in this coming down the front stretch.
Yeah, these guys pushing it to the limits right there, and I saw that Tim was trying to slow down the momentum, but it didn't work. Those 2 tires not paying off as Tim's back to 4th right now. Wilson's your leader. Riddle looking underneath the Jason bursting through the tunnel turn. Here comes James Griegate. And
oh, there goes Tim.
All right, yellow flag. Back it down.
Caution is out. Tim St. Jean, Ghost Brown, right in front of James Griegate. So Griegate taking damage on that 7 car. Wow, tough break. Those 2 tires didn't play out like he wanted them to, but John Wesley gets an E-play right there. Looks like he just got loose through the tunnel turn.
Yeah, he got really loose and spun right in front of the 7 car, James Griegate. Just nowhere for him to go. I'm not sure that's going to affect him a whole lot, though.
Well, I'd imagine James Griegate not going to hit pit road. He's just going to have to take the lumps and see what he can get out of it. Don't think it'll slow him down too much, though. But, man, we were right, Kevin Franks. These guys started mixing it up in a hurry. And, boy, Tim St. Jean, he was trying to slow down Riddle, and he about lost it on the front stretch there. And, boy, that would have been right in front of the leaders. So, man, unbelievable racing. I tell you what, good break that was for the 5 car there of Damon Goldsboro. Just nailed the wall out of turn 1 on that restart and had to make a pit stop, so he's a lap down. Unfortunately not going to get the lucky dog because we're under 10 to go, but
yeah, I tell you what, that was Tim St. Jean. He did a good job out, especially when he got loose coming out of going down the front straightaway, trying to slow down Chris Wilson and not spinning the car, because like you said, I was front of the leaders, and that could have been a big pileup right there.
Lead cars only. Lead cars only.
all right, well, pit road's open. Don't imagine we'll have very many takers, maybe some guys in the back, but I'm sure the leaders will be staying out here. So looks like, I knew Burstein wasn't, I don't think who he was going to try to fool on that one. Everybody had their mind made up, I think, right away that they were staying out. So Burstein, nonetheless, good try there, buddy. Not going to happen. But tell you what, 5 laps to go. These guys under caution. Why don't we step away, take a quick commercial break. We'll come right back here and see if we can decide this one under green flag conditions right here on ETV Live, the leader in sim broadcasting.
we've all gotten past April 15th, it's time to tell the sim racing community how Halls on Post Incorporated can support your accounting and tax needs year-round. We can take your checkbook, bank statement, and your bag of receipts and turn all that into a snapshot of your business each month. A profit and loss statement gives you a tool to gauge what is and what is not working. No, boys, you don't just log on to your bank account in the morning and call that your accounting department. Listen, the tax code was written for the small business owner, and you just need someone competent interpreting it for you. I am also fluent in QuickBooks, and I want you to feel free to call me with your QuickBooks questions. And remember, the girls at Halls on Post only watch ETV.
ARCA League Manager, the best online points and stats management program, features an easy-to-use interface that delivers clean results. List your drivers and stats, create virtual paydays, track incidents and penalties, and more. You'll have access to your stats with a private login where you'll be able to customize your points and statistics according to your league's criteria. After you upload your data, post the results on your league site, including schedules, standings, and points, and more. ARCA League Manager, serving over 70 leagues, including Elite Sim Racing, ARCA Sim Racing Club, White Knuckle Racing, the Charity Racing Group, Speedy League, Big Red Racing, and many, many more. ARCA League Manager comes in 2 affordable versions for your convenience. Professional version, complete statistics at $15 a month, or a basic version with drivers and stats at $10 a month. Get on board with Timothy St. John at www.arcalm.com. That's arcalm.com, the best league stats software around.
Shoot out till the end, and don't think we got the one to go yet, so hopefully maybe an official will tell the pace car to pull it in this time and we can get these guys back underway. But Kevin Franks, Chris Wilson, your leader, got Burstein hot on his tail, but it's better than having Burstein in front of you. It was hard to pass him earlier.
Yeah, it sure is. Bernstein's got, he's kind of like Kyle Bitch with know how to make that car righter than what it actually is, and Chris was able to get around him. Now the thing is, if Chris can make his car as right as Bernstein did, if Bernstein tried to make the pass on him, they would want David.
Oh, it's definitely a possibility. These guys are all pro drivers up here in the front. They know what they need to do to win this race. I know that Burstein's going to do everything he can. He's going to drive that car just as hard as he can to get around Chris Wilson. And we know Chris Wilson is a great driver in his own right, and he's going to be driving his car just as hard as he can. So it's going to be an interesting battle up here in the front. With the top 4, 5, 6 cars have all pretty much been up front most of the night. So it's going to be interesting to see who can do what.
And I tell you what, Chris Wilson good on all the tracks, but I think he really excels here at Pocono, and it's no surprise to me that he's out front running fast like he is. That because he is a great road course racer as well. I remember the ASC Team Series race we did at New Jersey, which had to be rescheduled because of a scoring glitch, Jerry Wolf, but. Chris Wilson stepped into one of those elite sim racing cars and just absolutely dominated, on the road course. And they say this track drives. It's kind of like a road course. 3 different corners that you gotta, negotiate, and he definitely knows how to get it done on the road courses, and getting it done here tonight at Pocono. So it's like we got the one to go, David Bass, and all the restarts. This is the one that counts. So hopefully we can get this thing in here, because we only got one chance at the green-white checker.
Bigelow, I don't think I'd count that 64 car out yet. And you know what? It's good to see you this late in the race, bud. It's nice to see you're still here with us.
I told you it was once in a lifetime. The stars were aligned, and the window of opportunity, it knocked, and I opened the door. So
bleep, bleep, bleep. I didn't ask for an explanation. I just said it was nice to see you here so late in the race.
Well, it's good to be here, Jerry Wolf. Wouldn't miss one of these TSW Pro Series races for nothing. definitely don't want to miss this restart here, because this is going to be a crazy one, Kevin.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. You got 4 or 5 fast cars, and we're definitely gonna see some 3 and possibly 4 wide going in around some of these turns here, there, won't we, David?
There's no question we're going to see these guys probably 4, maybe even 5 wide on this restart, spanning out as they're trying to gain as many positions. I'm not going to be surprised at this point in this race to see 3 or 4 cars all wadded up against the outside wall here getting into turn 1, unfortunately.
Alright, Chris Wilson, your leader, takes the green flag. Bursting, Riddle, D'Alfonso, and Grigate round out your top 5. Here comes James Grigate, pulls out right now on the 24 of Ernie D'Alfonso, looking for the 4 spot. Grigate may have taken a little bit of damage when Tim St. Jean went around in front of him, but man, there's 3 wide behind him. Looks like Speece and Brian Corey may have made a little bit of contact getting down into 1. But nonetheless, everybody going in the right direction. Chris Wilson leads them down the Long Pond straightaway, and James Grigate still looking for 4th, Kevin Pranks.
Yeah, he's down at Ernie D'Alfonso, and
going to
Got a wreck.
There it is, Brian Corey. Jim Willis is involved, and wow, J.J. Schlafer did a great job missing him. Calhoun's involved. I was just talking, those guys were trading paint down into turn 1, so don't think this is going to do it. We hadn't taken the white flag, so this is going to be our
okay, the leader just took
our
the yellow.
green-white checker here.
Pit road's closed.
Yeah, they're really
get us
bumping
in
and
clear.
banging back here, guys. It's really bumping and banging. It looks like Calhoun's gonna. I couldn't quite tell who that car was on the outside. I think it was the 92 car, Speece. Just nailed him and threw him in the outside wall and hard lick right into Corey, guys.
Guys, I tell you what, I just went back and looked at it, and it looked like the 37 of Jay Bunn was on the inside of Calhoun. Calhoun came down, clipped him, just tried to muscle his way in, and got clipped by the 37, and then took out the 92, and Brian Corey, just innocent bystander there. But I believe that all started Calhoun and 37 trading paint.
That there, Mr. Bickle, is what you call no open space. Go elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Calhoun just tried to muscle right in there, and didn't happen. And now he's out on the track, got a tire down, loops it in 1, so he's struggling trying to get that Jack Daniels Chevrolet back to pit road. But so here we go. Here's our one chance at a green-white checker, David Bass. So this is gonna be it.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We thought this last restart was gonna be aggressive. This is gonna be the most aggressive restart of the night for sure. As these guys try to figure out what they can do. Bursting is going to drive that car for everything he's got left in it on this restart to get by Wilson. I don't know about you, Sean, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some business going on up here in the front.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be business time for sure once we get the green flag, and hopefully, I keep saying it. Hopefully, we can get to the checkered flag, come out of turn number 4 there or 3, whatever you want to call it, and get the checkered flag under race conditions. But nonetheless, not the cleanest of races here at Pocono and from the TSW Pro Series, but we'll get through this one, then we'll head to Richmond to a nice short track once again. We were at Bristol last week, Pocono tonight, and we're going to be at Richmond International Raceway next Wednesday night. So tune in for that at 9 o'clock right here on ETV Live. And I want to thank everybody in the chat room still tuned in and watching ETV Live. And see if we can get through this one. But Kevin Franks, let's go on and let's make some picks for tonight. With 3 laps to go. Pick a driver in the top 5 that you think is going to get it done.
I think Chris Wilson's going to be able to hold him off. He had a pretty good restart in that last restart, and I think he's going to get another good restart on this one.
All right, well, Dave Bass, you pick one in the top 5 here right before we go green flag.
I'm going with Ernie D, because I figure those top 3 guys are going to end up in a mess somewhere.
Alright, well, John Wesley, you pick real quick.
I'm going to have to stick with my Elite Sim Racing driver of Chris Wilson, guys. I think he can hold these guys off.
Alright, so 2 of them got Chris Wilson. Well, nobody picked him. God, I'm going to take Jason Burstein. I think he's going to be able to get around Chris Wilson and hold Riddle and those guys off. So here we go. We're going to find out real quick. We got a green-white checker situation getting ready to happen. Chris Wilson brings him down 7 miles an hour. Green flag is back out. Hopefully these guys can keep it in line. Here we go, and Riddle pulls out. Burstein throws a block. Greegate pulls out. They're going to be 2 by 2 behind the leaders. They head down into 1, and here we go, Kevin Franks.
Yeah, as they go to turn 1, they're still side by side, and Jason's able to get in front of Bernstein, and look like James Gregate's going to be able to get in front of Ernie and try to make the move to get past Jason going down the Long Pond straightaway there, David.
Yeah, guys, they're still side by side back here, and here comes Ernie and Jason bursting on the high side through the tunnel turn. I know they're going to try to keep those things wound up and do as much as they can.
All right,
back up front, we got a yellow flag, guys.
Around goes Schroyer. That's going to do it. We didn't take the white flag, so Chris Wilson able to get the win. Teammate Jason Riddle going to finish 2nd. Burstein's going to grab 3rd. Greegate 4th. Ben Bando looks like he's going to come home 5th.
Okay, the leader.
So that's going to do it here at ARCA Sim Racing Club. You get 1 attempt at a green-white checker, and so we'll pick up the pace car, and when the green flag comes back out, we'll just pace around here and hold your position and get this thing over with. So didn't get to see it in quite like we wanted it to, but nonetheless, Chris Wilson grabbing the victory and holding them off for a lap. But man, I tell you what, Jason Riddle was able to pick up a spot there, Kevin.
Yeah, he sure did. He was able to get past Bernstein, and you know, I'd like to wonder if this thing stayed green, if would he be able to make a pass on his teammate Chris Wilson, and how that would work if Chris would try to block him to get the win.
Yeah, it was definitely going to get interesting here if we could have got it under green flag, but nonetheless, Schroyer having a little bit of trouble out of the tunnel turn, and like you said, Kevin Frank's Calamity Corner seemed to be the trouble spot pretty much all night long. But unless that's going to do it, well, why don't we step away, take a quick commercial break while these guys try to wrap this thing up here, and we'll be back and get the MTCO post-race show underway and get an interview with your top 3. So stick and stay, don't go away, because I want to hear what these guys have to say.
Pits are up for all cars. We can pit now.
Now that we've all gotten past April 15th, it is time to tell you sim racers how Halls on Post Incorporated can support your accounting and tax needs year-round. For you dreamers out there, if you have ever dreamed of starting your own business but you don't have a clue as to how to get started, please call me. I will personally ask you some realistic questions that will help you to select the best business entity to best fit your unique circumstances. I promise you it will cost you a third of what an attorney or a CPA will charge you, and you can form an LLC or incorporate in no time. A special shout out to my husband for inviting me to participate in this hobby. Watching ETV coverage of your races is a hoot. Y'all are something serious. Another shout out to Sean Bickle for allowing Halls on Post Incorporated to support the accounting department of his fast-growing business, True Gravity Art Designs, LLC. And remember, the girls at Halls on Post only watch ETV.
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, ETV Live. Thanks for tuning in here. It's been a long one here at Pocono. But nonetheless, race is over. These guys are just going to pace around. We've already had our 1 attempt at a green-white checker. Chris Wilson, your leader, and your winner tonight. So able to get it done here at Pocono. And I I don't know, Kevin. Surprised didn't see a better race here from these TSW Pro Series drivers, but I don't know. Maybe some of them just Pocono's a fun track. I don't I know you got to shift and stuff sometimes, but I don't know. I like racing here at this place, and wish we could have seen a little bit better race.
Me too. It's just one of the tracks I love to race on, and because the main turn is that the tunnel turn. As we get the green flag, that tunnel turn, you got to get your setup to where you go through that turn. Otherwise, like we saw tonight, you're gonna come through and that back engine's gonna kick around and you're gonna spin out. A lot of once you're David.
Oh yeah, I mean you got to have a good setup. You can't really, you can't be aggressive with the setup here. You got to be real careful with it. Setting up to get through the tunnel turn, sometimes it makes you can never have all three turns exactly the way you want them at this place. So it's definitely touchy. These guys right now are just kind of circulating around the track, finish out the last couple of laps because we did the one green-white checker. Now everybody's just going to hold their position and run the laps out. So. There's not going to be any racing going on right now, but these guys, I know seeing some talk, there's some disappointment in the way this race went here tonight. I'm sure there's going to be some discussion about it, and potentially some changes made for the next time we come back to this racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys under speed but holding position right now, just trying to get this thing done, and checkered flag will officially be out next time we get back to the stripe. But Chris Wilson, the winner tonight, good race for him, and able to recover Kevin Franks from his incident down there in turn number 1. Crew got the car patched up and got him back up there.
Yeah, they did. His crew did an awesome job getting that car repaired and where he could run and get back up front. And we also got to have give the hands off to Bernstein's crew for getting his car patched up from his spin, and him to get back up in the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Bernstein, your pole sitter, found trouble on lap 10. He and Joe DiPino had a little bit of trouble, but like you said, Kevin, crew got that car patched up, and didn't look like he was slowed down too much, and man, Wilson and Riddle just were able to keep up with him and gave him all he could handle, and was able to get by him. But nonetheless, checkered flag officially out now, and these guys circulating back around, gonna park the cars, get out of it, and we're gonna round up the top 3. Get the MTCO post-race show underway here from Pocono Speedway. Once again, thanks everybody for tuning in. It was a long one. Thanks for sticking it out, everybody in the Halls on Post chat room there. And a couple names in there that I hadn't seen in a while. Stephen Foley in the chat room. And I know this is one track that he excels on, and I knew if we were running Pocono, he'd show up somewhere. So not out on the track, but Foley made it into the chat room nonetheless. So, Foley, good to see you. You're still out there, man, and need to get your wheel hooked back up, get back in here racing. But Chris Wilson out on the front stretch, burning them down. Teammate Jason Riddle burning them down. A 1-2 finish for the Elite Sim Racing crew. So those guys out there celebrating for the fans, and get a double burnout tonight. At least we got that. But why don't we send it down trackside? John Wessling, I believe you have caught up with the 64 of Jason Burstein, your third place finisher.
I sure have, guys. A big disappointment on that last restart. Jason, why don't you kind of walk us through there? It looked like Chris Wilson just got a huge jump on you, and then Jason Riddle got behind you, and Greegate was pushing him, and you just got pushed to the outside there. Why don't you walk us through those closing laps?
Well, at the end there, I got good restarts basically all night long. I don't think I got a bad restart, but when I shifted into third, I would catch everybody, get good restarts most of the time, and then when I shifted into third and about past the start-finish line, they would just go to the inside and catch up about 1 or 2 car lengths. It was just horrible on restarts, and And then the caution came out, so that there was second place, and we basically messed our car all up early in the race when we started. I thought I was in third or fourth, and I shifted down to second, and it spun. I saved it, and there was no caution. I got it back going, so I wasn't gonna get a penalty, and then somebody, I don't know who it was, somebody plowed into me. They had like a mile to check up for it, but they plowed into me at about 160 miles per hour. I think it should be a racing deal, probably is gonna be. But after that, I had a red rear and right rear, and came in and got a 44-second pit stop to fix the damage, and it was junk after that. That happened on like lap 15, and we got back up there, and I think Wilson got a bit of damage because I think we still had a pretty quick car. Me and Wilson were even. I don't know. I think I may have been a little bit faster. You never know with the draft. He could have been faster. You never know. But that car was pretty good, and then screwed it all up with that wreck, and still had something. Just tried to hold him off. I hated racing him that hard, but I was after I got the lead back after pit stops, I had to basically run Q laps to even stay in the top 5, and I hated racing them that hard, and I apologize, but it just car wasn't good, and I had to run Q laps and try and stay in first to get a shot at top 5 towards the end. The car was really bad.
Well, Jason, all in all, considering where you started at the beginning of this race in the outside wall there, I think you made a heck of a comeback, finishing third place here tonight. Anybody out there you want to give a shout out tonight?
Yeah, just want to thank James Grigate, Dwayne Hall, and I don't know if he's out there watching, but Jeremy Allen last night. James and Dwayne were kind of busy this week, so Jeremy Allen hopped back over to ARCA and helped me out with the setup. We worked on it for about 2 hours, all for me to back it in, or not back it into the wall, get run over, I guess you should say, on lap 15. But I guess all in all, good race. If I don't get that penalty, I don't think I will. But third place, finished ahead of Ben Bando, which is really who we need to finish ahead of. I think we may have led the most laps. Wilson may have, but so we came out of here with good points, and congratulations to Chris Wilson for the win.
There you have it, race fans. Jason Burstein, that 64 American Cancer Society Chevrolet, and he finished third place tonight. With that said, I'm going to pass it on to David Bassel, your second place finisher, Elite Sim Racing 96 machine of Jason Riddle.
All right, thanks, John. Jason, outstanding run for you tonight. Pulled off a second-place finish. Why don't you give us a short rundown of your evening?
I had a pretty good race. I kept my car pretty clean all night. I had a little door damage, slowed me down a little bit, but like Jason said, he said he had to run qual laps. Well, the race come down to what he needed it to be. I believe everybody was running qual laps. We didn't get nothing no longer, hardly. It was fun racing around the guys I did. I was around Ernie D'Alfonso some, James Grigate, Bernstein, Chris. It was all clean racing, so when we did get a few laps, it was fun.
Yeah, you guys definitely look like you had a good car. You and Chris and Bernstein look like you guys were kind of the top 3 in the field. Then you got Bando and Grigate were all out there. Out of all those guys, obviously, Chris was going to be a competitor, but who was you worried about for the most so far, throughout the night?
I believe Chris had the best car. Of course, I was driving the same thing he was, but he seems to like Pocono. He puts it on me here every time we go, so I believe he had the best car. Bernstein might have had something on a short run. He had a good car, too, so... like you said, Grigate, Bando, they all had good cars. Track position meant a lot. Of course, I had a teammate up there to help me draft, so when he got in front of me or was behind me, we worked with each other. We worked good at each other about every track we go to, so that put Bernstein at a disadvantage at the end, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, it sure does. Jason, can you give a quick opportunity here to give a shout out to anybody you'd like to give some thanks to?
Yeah, just all y'all in the booth. Y'all make it interesting every week. Sorry for a horrible show. I mean, some of us can't do nothing about it. Seems like this happens more often than it should. This should be a pro series. I think it should be some guys been getting kicked out of here. It seems like the same guys, 2 cautions week in and week out. That's just ridiculous. This is a pro series. Don't think it should be happening that way, but thank all y'all in the booth putting y'all's time in it every day. Of course, John Westland for sponsoring my car. Glad we could get him a 1-2 for Elite Sim Racing. Seems like we do that a lot when our cars are not, both painted cars ain't in here. We might have to swap our paint jobs up a little bit.
All right, Jason, great job. Guys, that was your second place finisher, Jason Riddle. Sean, I'm going to throw it to you for our winner here tonight.
Yep, I'm down here in victory lane with your winner tonight, Chris Wilson. And Chris Wilson, congratulations getting the win here tonight. And like you heard these guys say, you probably had the best car out here, and obviously did getting the victory. But you and your teammate getting a 1-2 finish. Congratulations. Walk us through your race, man.
Oh man, it was a hard fought battle. I mean, nobody give it to me, that's for sure. I mean, there was some tough racing out there. Jason Burstein, he had a good car. If he hadn't had his damage, it would have been tough for sure to pull off any kind of pass. And like Jason said, me and him helped one another, so that kind of helped bring us both to the front and keep us there. Was having a good draft partner, but we had that one deal where we, got a little bit of contact and had to go to the rear, and thought our night was done then. And we managed to just get a little bit of damage on that on the rear bumper, so it really didn't hurt the car that bad. So we started in the back and picked our way back to the front, and this Elite Sim Chevrolet was able to stay there.
Well, Chris, the first half of the race, a lot of cautions, and about halfway point, you guys finally got some longer green flag runs in. And one thing we were noticing, Burstein was leading, and a few of you guys tried to get inside of him and try to make the pass. It just couldn't keep the momentum up, I guess. Was it hard to pass once you were get inside and side by side with somebody through these corners?
Yeah, it's pretty tough if somebody wants to keep their position and fight for it. They can do it on that high side for a couple laps, and if you can stay under them, you can beat them. And if you have to wait on the gas a little bit, that top line will pull right back past you. And that's what happened to us when we got that run and got under Jason one time. He stayed in it and made that outside come to life and pulled back around us. And when you go make a pass, you got to know you're gonna be able to make a pass. You can't go into the corner and cross your fingers. I think that's the problem with a lot of guys. They get that draft run here at Pocono, and they think, I got it, and they go down on the bottom, and their mile per hour is up several mile per hour what they normally are, and it just don't work out. You gotta set it up and be committed and make it work, or you're gonna tear some cars up.
All right, well there you go. That's from from your winner tonight, and you're one of the pros for sure. That's how you got to get it done at Pocono. But Chris Wilson, go on and give your shout outs, man. Anybody out there watching? Any sponsors got you here, buddy?
First off, I want to thank Elite Sim Racing. We had a backup car out here actually today. Our other car was wrapped up, ready to go, and we wasn't able to get on the track, so we had to pull out another car with a different paint scheme on it. And but just let everybody know we represent Elite Sim Racing, and me and Jason pulled off that 1-2, and that made us feel good. Give John a little something back. He's hooked us up for a couple seasons in a row with cars, and feels good to give something back to him, and everybody at Elite Sim Racing. Appreciate y'all in the booth every week. It's good to have a place with a good group of broadcasters that are professional about it, and we appreciate it. Give a shout out to my other two teammates, Danny Gabaldon and Frank Sarmento. But I guess that's it, man.
All right, once again, congratulations, Chris Wilson, and thanks for the shout out here to all of us at ETV. And go on and enjoy the victory, man, and celebrate and get ready for Richmond next week. But real quick, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the race. Definitely got to thank Thomas Superwheel for sponsoring this Pro Series here at ARCA Sim Racing Club. Get over to www.thomas-superwheel.com and get the competitive edge. Get yourself a TSW wheel, the best in sim racing there. But also I want to thank NVG Web Hosting. Get over to nvghosting.com. ARCA League Manager, arcalm.com. Got to thank Angela and Halls on Post Tax and Accounting Service. Get over to hallsonpost.com. JD Web Race Videos. You can check him out at youtube.com, jdweb56. Thank True Gravity Art Designs. If you need a website, get over to truegravityartdesigns.com. And got to thank MTCO Game Servers. Check out mtco.com, $49 a month game server rentals. So get over there and check them out. And that's going to do it for all of us here. For Sean the Businessman Bickle, David Big Mouth Bass, Kevin Franks, John the Bad Boy Westling, and Jerry Wolf down on pit road. Want to thank everybody for tuning in once again. Come back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for the ASC Team Series. They're going to try to tackle the Tricky Triangle and put on a pretty good race. They've had 2 great races in a row, and we'll see what they can do here at Pocono. So once again, thanks for tuning in. This is the ETV. We'll see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.